Ryuzu.
Uh, yeah, he'll do that.
I think I ran
He
into
does that.
somebody with.
Top
Someone was in
three.
top 100 using a British flag when playing Ryu. Who was that? They're a stranger though, so I can't tell.
Stupid strangers.
Someone changed their name to Buff Valstrax. Who is that?
There's a buff Valstrax. Where are they at?
47.
I'm at 70 now. Let's see. All right, Kyle's second, and then I was trying to figure out the top three there.
Kyle's what now?
He's second NA.
Second. I think he said he was sucking. I was like, dude.
No.
I
Damn,
was like,
he's
eighth,
sucking.
dude.
Only eighth? Man, what a loser.
Oh, Buff Valstrax is probably Memiot. Did Memiot drop?
Is he not Cat Jam Emion anymore?
It's the only Italian flag on the leaderboard that I recognize. Yeah, that's definitely Memiot.
Oh yeah, it is.
He was like top 20, but I guess he dropped.
We gotta
No,
do.
he's still Cat Jam Emion. He's number 94 right now. But he
Really?
did drop. Yeah.
Oh, he
shit.
did drop. He's the
he
same
dropped
points
even
as
further?
me. Smile.
Oh shit. But he has the same flag. Weird.
Then we have a mysterious
than one
lady
person
cat
there.
jam above that.
Ew.
Who's that?
Oh, Dango's right under me.
I'm forever, man. I'm gonna be associating that guy with just like the biggest misunderstanding.
I know. I can't believe you tried to steal your deck.
Weird.
He was cool about it, but just like coming in there like, yo, man, you probably shouldn't do that.
I just like how that just blew up into such a fucking meme.
It is so funny.
Man. A lot of recognizable names.
Let's see.
You just give him one of these.
Iowa the Ghost.
Iowa the Ghost, dude, it really is.
Ooh, hey, ooh.
Who's that host? That was thirsty.
Oh.
How's everybody do? Dude, rip Iowa. I know he's he can't be here today, but he wants you all to know that he's okay. He's just busy at work.
Yep. Expect some tournament news from him soon.
He did want us to mention it though, right?
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to.
I do want to announce a tournament date.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the tournament people were talking about? Asking me if I'm going to be in the
You just
tournament?
give him one of these.
I have no idea.
I doubt it. I imagine it's more the in-game tourney, which is a weird way to call it a tournament. It's just
everyone keeps calling
rank
it a tournament. That's confusing me too.
Wait, which tournament? Wait, which event is this?
The online cup.
Oh, the cup. Yeah, I kept hearing tournament, and I'm like, what?
Well, they do call it tourney in game, which is wrong.
Oh, you're right.
It's always been that way.
Do we have to set our our deck right now?
No.
Okay.
You can use whatever deck you want. You have access to every card in the game. If it's like the other ones.
No, I mean like when the tournament thing starts, does it lock your deck in?
No.
Okay. Cool. It's always always has been.
Yeah, you can like register up to 50 decks, and the cool thing for the tourney mode in this, for those that missed the first one, is everything is unlocked for
Yep.
all the players, so you have all cards in the game.
Oh, really? So even if you don't own the card normally, you can use it in a deck.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
what I was saying. You have
Okay, that
access to
didn't really
every card in
process to me.
the game. Yeah, like everything's unlocked. That's how the other past tournament modes have been, both qualifiers and the New Year's Cup.
And
Ooh,
then
these
if you
cool secrets.
play at least 50 matches, you get all those rewards, which is pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I liked about the previous one. They're just like, yeah, bro.
Yep.
All the stuff that you get if you're number 1, dude. Emblem, I guess. I can finally use Sigma. I wonder which deck is going to conquer the Anniversary Cup. It's hard to say.
Gaia Armor Shara.
Yes. I highly encourage everyone to run those kind of decks. Please don't, by the way.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
We do get the return of the World Championship map too, which is pretty cool.
Oh, really? Does that show up for this?
Yeah, pretty much all the matches will be that background that you see there.
Yep.
Wow. Is it going to have the special theme? I remember when they did the finals, the world finals, it was like they had the special BGM and everything.
Oh, they have a special song too. Yeah, I guess they might.
So you can fucking lose 50 games and just be cat jam the whole time?
Yeah, I mean you can probably just quit right away and get the rewards. I think it's what people have done before.
The first qualifier, I totally did that when they only had it up for like 6 hours, and I was just like,
Oh yeah.
I think that's today at some point. It's like, I'll get to it, and then it's just like, look, it's only got like an hour left, and I was like, what? Spam it out, just like,
Yep.
Surrender, smash.
This beautiful tournament is what's gonna cause me to give up on my 1K wins run.
Oh, that's right. It's gonna be active for how long? Tourney details.
It's around for a while.
It's like 4 or 5 days.
Battle period. Ooh, you're right. 4 days. 20th to the 24th. Same time. 1700 PT, so that'd be 5 PT, so 8 o'clock Eastern. Oh, it's just the reset. The daily reset. Okay.
Yeah.
You're gonna want to get at least 1000th place, unless you're Schmo, in which case you want to get top 100. Oops.
Wait, it'll be. Oh no, that's right. Yeah. So August 24th at reset.
These details are like, oh my god, enter the tournament, hit enter. Entry during the entry period.
Yeah, Iowa's busy at work. He can't make the show today.
So he's haunting us.
Yeah. Iowa the ghost.
I was thinking either that or a big red X over him.
Yeah. They make it very easy for anyone to enter this tournament. So if you guys have not entered yet, you should probably do that.
So you might get banned if you're using an inappropriate name that violates public morality.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
Should just put cat jam gif, dude.
Oh, making cat jam.
Dude, I could do that. They put the hat on it too.
Yeah, they already like block certain words from showing up in your name anyway, so I don't know. There are some workarounds for certain words, but I'm not gonna do it.
I'm not gonna do it. Just try really hard and have like the most obscene names. That's just like, I did it top 100, and it's just like banned.
I still think it's funny that Hacky got one of his replays on the TEPPEN channel, and it just did show up under the name Gordon Ramsay. They just saw it like, yeah, this is fine. We can put that up there.
It's a good name.
Hold on, hold on. We have it. We have it. Crap.
Now he just needs the hat.
Wow.
Wow.
Cool.
Okay.
What is?
Pan kid, poor
Radical
kid,
voice?
poor kid. Oh, okay, it's tongue twister. I was like, what? No, dude, no.
What is that?
What Pig posted? It was a tongue twister. Try and say it.
Packet pulled curd.
Ped kid poured curd, pulled cod. Yeah, it's ped kid poured curd, pulled cod.
Okay. Oh.
Omelette du fromage.
Yeah, BRB banning pig.
Yep.
All right. Well, now we got some people in here that were all started officially. Time out somebody else. Dude. Wait, you're a mod. You can time it. You can time
Do it yourself.
it. You can do it.
I didn't pay for this just to do it myself.
What the?
Go McDonald's. Can I get 20 chicken nuggets? Yeah, go back there and make them. The fuck?
Go back there and make them.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good to me.
I'll grab some extra fries while I'm at it.
Try to get an ice cream, but it's broken.
Oh no.
Oh God, we have a new XGP. Enhanced
Yeah, yeah.
Demon.
I
What's
haven't
that?
checked it yet, but I almost guarantee it's a king in the middle. That's my guess.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You could just queue into a free match real quick to find out, but yeah, it's a good guess.
Can I do that?
Since
Can I time
enhan-
myself out?
Enhanced Machine had something else.
You cannot time
Wait.
out the broadcaster.
Places King. Wow, you can just Fury right away for a 5-2. Isn't that broken?
Kind
Pretty
of.
nice.
You block with any 2 attack unit. You
Nope.
look silly.
Just bring 3
Good.
Furies. And then when Fury dies, and you make King normal speed.
Make him normal speed. Yay!
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I like King.
Oh,
Yeah,
tip
just
was
open
a
up a
great
lady.
point. Lady. Oh,
Yep.
jeez. What do you guys feel about top decks right now? Because last week I
Decks?
think we were like Shinku boys.
Some people were. I mean, the chat said Shinku was the top deck, but I never said that. I was leaning more towards black, mainly Raging Demon. It was either that or Yawn for me, because I mean Yawn was at the top of the ladder at the time, but Raging Demon's all over the place. It's really strong. Has a lot of good matchups, especially against the top decks in the game right now. But yeah, that's kind of how I see it. But I think Shinku is still really strong. It's just very difficult to use, but there's definitely like a lot of reuse around top 100, top 200. So it's still a really good deck. But there's been some newer decks finding their way in.
Some very aggressive decks.
Yep.
Well, all I know is I beat everybody. 15 game win streak, that means I'm invincible, and that means Jill's the best deck in the game?
Yeah, Jill's pretty broken. I'm telling you.
What,
Well,
what,
I will not say what my win streak is then.
Oh, really? Is it outrageous?
It's I think I'm at 24, 25 right now.
Oh, dude.
That's pretty good.
I've never really kept track of a win streak before, but I was kind of like getting approaching top 100. I was like, I haven't lost in a while. This feels weird.
It does start feeling weird. It's like, wait, what's been going on? What's happening?
Mhm.
You get that
Yeah, I'm
feeling like, oh shit, I'm due to lose. Like I'm gonna lose real soon, dude.
Wait, oh, weird. Yeah, I've been keeping track of my win rate at least, and I've only lost 3 times with my
Ever?
Raging Demon deck
Okay.
this season, so that's pretty good.
3 times total.
Yeah,
Oh my
out of
God.
35 games or something like that.
Oh, that's crazy.
But that's
Pretty good.
pretty solid. It's pretty consistent, but I don't know. I'm a bitch. I'm not a 2K yet because I just don't want to do it yet. I'll probably try tomorrow though.
I'll probably be trying
Yeah.
later this week too.
Seems easier.
Seems easier to climb.
Yep.
Why is that?
I don't know. It just seems a lot of people are having success right now, and just playing a variety of decks and like being actually able to play units out uh, is pretty good. Like even Yawn can beat Black in some cases, which is pretty telling. That it's more about the player and not the deck anymore. Whereas the previous season it was more about maybe the deck itself and not the player. I mean, the player would still persevere if they're good enough, but it seems this season it's a lot more telling. Like if you're experienced and know what you're doing, and we've mentioned this last week. Like if you know what you're doing and you played the deck a while and you know how to play it, you're probably going to win a lot more games now than you were before because there's a little bit more fairness involved, I guess.
It's interesting because it seemed like the last few months have been just like, oh god, everyone's falling, everyone's losing a bunch. But it's a give and take, man. That means if someone's losing, someone else is winning somewhere. So like,
But even if you're
where?
losing, it's easier to like climb back up and regain your pace again
Hmm.
because of the matchmaking, I guess. Like matchmaking has been a lot better.
I'm just saying, if we're
Between-
winning a bunch, that means someone else somewhere is losing a lot.
Between matchmaking and then overall, it does seem with the balance changes, like kind of the suffocating decks, and then just a lot of the high roll is kind of just been toned down so much that it helps a ton. It's so that it's much harder for a less skilled player to kind of just completely shit on like a higher skilled player. Not to say that doesn't still happen, like that does still
Yeah.
happen, but it's
definitely
much
happen.
harder.
But
It's
you
almost
see,
like you can delete things
yeah.
better than, I don't know, DI. Oops.
Yeah, I don't know. I think like it's interesting though because we thought that only a few amount of decks were going to be dominating, but it looks like there's actually some good variety in top 100 from what I've seen. At least extending the top 200, because I mean X is still around in some way, which is kind of funny. But I mean, you got a lot of green seeing play right now, and even some purple. Like I think every purple hero has a deck right now that you can climb with. That
Really?
I've seen. Yeah, I've seen both Morgan, Shadowblade, and Temptation. I've seen Zero, Inner Demons, but mostly Tenkuha, and then Dante, mostly Devil Trigger. I know Ebony and Ivory was being tested out for a little while, but it seems like Devil Trigger's always going to be the better one for him. And I mean, Quicksilver's cute, but it's not really like going to do that well.
Wow, the last pinned deck for Morgan on the Discord is from the end of January.
Yeah, I noticed that earlier actually. I was going to well, I shared the Force deck that I ran into
Ooh.
on my last stream, and they were like right under 2K, but when they beat me, they got over 2K. Some Japanese player, I don't know the name because I can't translate, but yeah, it was a really good Force list.
I got it on the
And
screen right now.
then- Yeah, it's really solid. Like it definitely has some bad matchups, namely like tall boys in green and black, right? Like if you
Mhm.
run the Ouroboros, it's going to be hard to contain this unless you get a lucky steal with Four Eyes or Brainwash. And then against like Shara decks and stuff like that, you can't really do much about it because there's no real board clear. Like you can just Brainwash and then hope to like chip them down, maybe get an Oro off. But there's some really cool tech in here for matchups against black and even green. There's a ton of bounces, of course, but you have a lot of steals as well, and just a lot of good ways to stall, right? I mean, Shadowblade's always been a decent stall. You still have buffets, and then Rook is like auto include at this point if you're playing fours because of the way it just keeps a board protected while also buying you time.
There's almost enough actions to justify X Hunters, but it would mean that
Yeah.
nothing was milled. I played against this deck like this, and I noticed they were playing a lot of actions. You know what? I think it was a very similar deck played by a Fade, and I was really afraid of X Hunters.
I don't think you need to be scared of X Hunters anymore. I mean, someone out there might be playing X Hunters, but I feel like a lot of decks just don't play for it anymore. Like even Morgan Resonate with Temptation doesn't have X Hunters. And that's probably like the best deck right now that would possibly run it because they have all the tools and actions necessary to get there. Like Rakoha is just a little too slow now and doesn't really do much in the state of things, but Resonate is a lot more potent in terms of like stalling because they have a ton of halts. Obviously, their hero art is a halt; they can fly over your head, multiple ways. But they're mostly just trying to beat you that way with flight instead of building up to X Hunters and then using their ceasefire on that. Right.
Yeah, I played against a deck like this. I played against
Yeah, I saw that.
something that had more halts in it, and it's interesting that that was somewhat viable.
Yeah, halts have
Like,
made a big return for purple in general. I mean, it was just like a Burn Dante thing the previous season, and Burn Dante's still around, but you'll start to see a lot of purple lists running like Crystal and Darkhold again.
with this deck, why 2-2 with intimidation and quicksand? I remember hearing some bad stuff about quicksand before, like it's not that good.
I mean, Quicksand will send anything back to the deck as long as it's not ascended. And right now, there are a lot of popular decks that pretty much rely on units that cost 4 and less. I mean, off the top of my head, some of the best decks right now are obviously Raging Demon, Zombie Shinku, and also Viper Trish, right? I don't know a good name for that. Just, Resonate Black Buff Abuse, but I'll call it Viper Trish. And all of those decks will succumb to, bounces. Like Quicksand obviously doesn't hit something like Agile, but Demonic Intimidation does, and Beltway does as well. While we're on the subject of more bounces, but just returning any of those back to the pocket or even the deck is a huge setback on the opponent, right? So if you're using a demonic on an Agile, then they have to ascend it all over again. It's a bit of a hassle, right? But if you use a Quicksand on their Sigma, it's an even bigger hassle.
I see.
And then against Viper or Trish, if they want to use, Black Crown's Madness, and then you bounce one of them back with a Quicksand, there's a decent chance that unit might get banished after you bounce it. So Quicksand's slowly like making its way back in. Like I've seen some Zero decks use it the previous season, and it wasn't that great. I mean, it was pretty annoying, but it wasn't like game winning. But now we're at a point where Quicksand might actually be game winning in some situations.
Yeah, it also helps against the green matchup with Trinity. I know
Yep.
early on in when we were talking about this, Iowa did say he preferred like demonic intimidation over quicksand because then you know exactly what they're going to play again, and there's a nicety of they're not drawing a card, but they have to play it again. But that's kind of changed with a lot of the synergies that things have. That like you don't want to really send that big Nero that just came out to the pocket because you still got to take care of the other two units uh before like he get played again and it just comes out with the big stats. But if you send it to the deck, like that's a lot more of a hassle, right? Because they got to find that Nero again, and that gives you a lot more time to deal with like the feline or lair or anything else that's buffing his tribes.
Yeah. and it's definitely geared more towards those matchups. And Ryu to some extent. This can definitely win against Ryu, even though that's another really tough matchup, as Ryu has always beaten purple for the most part. Um, it's really difficult because you just can't throw a unit out there and expect it to live that long. But the fact that you're playing rooks and Oro to ascend over like a rook or something, like once it's done its job, can be a real pain for Ryu to deal with. And if you can get a really good hunk timed, it gets pretty big.
Also, friendly reminder: if you have the option, put your hunks on bottom.
Hunks and
Yeah,
hunks and
hunk-
turtles on bottom.
Hunk bottom if possible, yeah. But
Hunks,
yeah, like I
turtles,
said
and
before,
jackals.
yeah, and like I said before, this deck isn't really looking to win right away, and it's not looking to play for a certain win condition, which is X Hunters. It's looking more to like stall, agitate your opponent, steal their best cards, and just win on time because you're going to heal more than they could. So that's always
Yeah.
been the goal of fours in the long run. Like it's never like old fours would be able to win in the first minute just because of Beltway and Four Eyes being ridiculous, right? But that was never really the intention of the deck. It was always supposed to be a stall deck.
I feel like that's the same thing that my current Jill deck has ended up being, and that's from Tarakamon, is just not really that many, huge cards, but really just making good trades where you can get them, and that's the same kind of thing this has. This has like one big legendary unit
Yep.
and one big legendary action, and the rest is kind of just modest investments.
Yeah, and it's decks like this and like Jill that only get stronger even if they haven't been changed much recently. They get stronger just because of what happens elsewhere, right? Like now that people are forced to play more units and can't just do like a 25 action deck for the most part, right? Like they'll still be around, but they're not as good as they
Mhm.
used to be. The more meta decks are relying on units to stick or do something. And now that that's back in favor, you start to see more disruptive decks like Force coming back because they want to see units being played. Like this, a deck like this would have never done anything last month, right? Like if you ran into zero with this deck, you might as well just give up. Like it's so pointless to use this against like a zero or a Denjin, right? But now this looks pretty decent and counters decks like Kyle's. Um, and all of a sudden it looks good. It looks like something you can actually climb with and see
Yeah,
some success.
I've ran into this a couple of times, and it's not easy for zombies to deal with.
Yep.
Especially Namiel.
Hanami was
Yeah.
really fun.
You can't even just shinku it down, right? Like without getting something bounced, most likely.
That's funny. TEPPEN Twitter confirming the Ryu zombies on the list of deaths. What do you mean?
It was
They
fun,
didn't.
Kyle.
Yeah. Which I'll be honest, the deck could use a couple of nerfs, but that's just mainly the zombie engine as a whole could use a couple of nerfs and turtle, but that's
Yeah.
a whole other thing.
Yeah, Black Bus should probably be coming sooner rather than later, but we'll see. We'll see what they do whenever the next patch is.
Oh, that's right. Weird way to ask for balance adjustments, but
Yeah.
and then Chris Brown came in. Lol, my boy. It's really interesting to see some breakout purple decks because like last week we were pretty much like, yeah, they don't really have a deck.
Yeah, it was like really well to me I felt like their best option was fours because that looked to be the most consistent and actually playable now. But they actually have some other decks that kind of came up unexpectedly. I mean, one of them is a dual color.
You talking about
Do
good old
do we
BP?
want to get into that now?
The oh boy, the plagiarism deck.
It's my deck.
It's my deck though. It's mine though.
Yeah, I don't even know like what lists you guys have now, but
Whoops, friggin' True Asian got it pinned in the in the Discord.
Oh
Here's what
yeah,
it
if you
looks
go in the
like.
Discord, it's probably in there. What's
So
up,
this
Iowa?
is
Yeah,
this
your cat jam
disgusting
now.
thing, dude. Iowa the cat jam, dude.
Yep.
Totally is not wearing a purple hat. I could. No, I'm not gonna try it.
Yeah, it's a red hat. That's even more offensive.
That's because purple's dead, though. Smile.
So yeah, this is not the current list. There's been a more updated list where Demon Drug was replaced by Frenzy, and
Oh God.
there's a third hookshot now that replaced Fate. You don't need Fate in this deck.
You don't need fate. What do you mean?
Fate of the Unworthy.
Whoa, he's here.
Yeah, it's up Iowa. There's a single Fate in that list.
Holy shit. Is everything okay, Iowa?
Yeah, it's fine.
Are you safely at home now?
Yeah, nobody
Okay.
followed me.
Oh, that's good.
I did check though. I'm a very cautious person, so
Hold on. Let me...
yeah.
Let me share the more current list if I have it. You know what? I might not have it. Oh god. Yeah, I actually don't have it on me. It's weird. I should have in the channel earlier in the week because I sent it to Iowa.
So let me turn that off. Get the color correction on Iowa. He's actually here. Glad to have you.
Oh.
No filters applied. Okay.
But yeah, that was like the deck in the early stages, and I mean the basic core of the deck is here though. I mean it's only using 6 units, Viper and Trish, and you can actually get them out pretty consistently because of some minions. And it's pretty much a resonate engine machine. You're getting a lot of resonates off with the 1-cost actions and Black Crown. Even though Black Crown removes cards from your deck, it doesn't really matter because it's giving you more time to resonate because it's adding more mana, either 2 or 3, depending whether you use it in response or not. And you're not really removing every unit, so it's kind of like a risky deck at points, but other times it's like really consistent. So like it's pretty scary in that regard, and a lot of people have been able to do well with it and see some success. I mean, True Asian was using it first and then got to like 2100 with it. Ryuzu started using it a bit and he was like, oh, this is really easy, like winning games super fast. Pro Circuit Scrub I saw was using it. Ryudo Sensei I saw was using it. I played both of them. Yeah, so it got really popular really fast just because people like winning games really fast. Like there's no other way around it. Like a lot of people have the aggro brain where it's like, how can I kill my opponent as fast as possible? I want to speed run ladder. And this is definitely one of the best ways to speed run the ladder. I posted the more current list in the chat if you want to check that really quick. But I mean the idea is there, right? Like just resonate your units as much as possible, get their attack up as much as possible, and then kill them with 1 or 2 attacks. And since Sea Viper gets temporary combo, you really just have to buff her attack up and she's good to go. And with Trish, she gets an insane amount of attack over time, just as long as you keep resonating her. And yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. And then I don't know why they weren't using Frenzy in the first place. I think I brought that idea up to True Asian, so I'm gonna take credit for it and say this is my deck now. But Frenzy should have always been in this deck because it's absolutely absurd. You only need a memory of 4 for an instant attack, and that's pretty much game winning. And even if things fall apart, you have Monstrous Virus as a backup plan. So yeah, you can definitely stall with this deck, even if you are burning yourself down with these buffs.
It's interesting for the red matchup because I think that's one of the decks that, or it's one of the colors at least that they spit out so much damage that sometimes you can just get your unit shredded and it's too late. I mean, these units are good at gaining HP when they resonate, but sometimes it's not fast enough. And
Well, Viper's HP is absurd.
yeah, the plus 2 HP
I've
is
seen her reach 30.
wild. 30?
Yeah, it just keeps going by 2.
I think what would probably mess me up more is if they swapped Heartless Experiments for Psycho Powers, but then again, it's obviously very slower.
It's more expensive, yeah. Like, the idea is just to get more 1 costs in there. And, I mean, Tip Top's asking, why don't we run Double Trigger? We have Bolt Reavers, and that's Double Trigger. So, yeah, it's pretty smartly designed. There have been variants, right? Like, you will see the reverb action, whatever the name of it is right now. What the hell's the name of that card?
Iron Shredder,
Oh yeah.
Armor Shredder.
Yeah,
Armor
yeah,
Shredder.
armor shredding technique. Because while it does cost 3, once you get enough memory, you'll gain 2 MP back. So it technically is only a 1 cost card to add Reverberate to either Trish or Viper, but I like this version more just because, I don't know, adding Reverberate to these cards is nice, but it also feels like win more. Like, you don't really need it, but you can definitely do that if you want.
I've seen that
Well-
before. I think one of the Japanese players is doing that. It's just
Yeah,
like
yeah. Pretty popular in Japan.
so wild. It's 3 MP and then you get the 2 back instantaneously. You don't have to like put it on a unit and then it dies. It's not like
It
the
makes
Armors.
the deck slower too. Is another thing. I feel like if you're gonna play this style of the deck, you might as well just do what it's good at instead of trying to, make it slower. Because if I wanted to make a deck that played at that type of speed, I might as well just play green.
Damn.
Yep.
That's my thought process.
If I want to be slow, I'll go play X, okay?
Yeah, it's the same thing of like when I started running into Devil Triggers, running this. It just didn't make any sense to me, honestly, because it's not benefiting your game plan at all, and it's the stall doesn't really make sense because your mana's already in half. So I don't. There doesn't seem to be that many cases where you are gonna stop to build up, anyways.
Yeah, it's and this isn't like, this might not be the finalized version of the deck. They might cut it down and do some other sneaky stuff, but right now this looks to me the most consistent. But you might see someone try a ceasefire to ensure that they get an attack in, so you can do that if you want, or even just like a Bengal. I've seen that. You can do cute shit like that because that's how this deck works, right? You just need at least 1 or 2 attacks, and you probably just whatever it takes.
I think Bloodbath Frenzy should have its quick attack part removed.
Yeah, probably.
Yep.
I mean, whenever they add instant attack, it's usually a problem. But the green
It's
instant
just-
attack hasn't been played much, so they figured
It's
why not
just
give it the black.
absurd to me that they're gonna give like the same thing, but also like it buffs health and damage at the same time. It's like, what the hell
Spillover.
is this?
Yeah.
And it gives spillover. Like, why does it do so
spillover
much?
quick attack? Why?
Yep.
But like this deck is actually like an amalgamation of a problem that I think exists strongly in black that I was talking about earlier in Mallet's channel, and it seems like they early on in this game's lifespan, black had issues with keeping up mana wise, and they kept trying to help them by printing in these cards that help it, but they never really got played that much. And now that we're like 6 sets in, now everyone's playing all these cards, and it's become kind of a problem with how mana positive black ends with a lot of things, right? Like, here's this 2 cost card that gives you a 3 cost. Here's this 3 cost that kills a 4 cost. Here's this 2 cost that kills a 3 cost. And
Right.
here's this 1 cost that gives you 2 mana. And I think they're putting in a little too much value on, but you have to sacrifice life. It's like, who gives a shit about sacrificing life? And I just really don't think they've really thought about that. And that problem has come to a head pretty strongly in a lot of black decks, right? That's what made the zombie engine. It's what makes Fate so insufferable, and it's all these things.
I mean, with,
Nothing better than 3 Mastery of the Hottos on 1 unit and getting 9 MP.
Yeah, that's pretty
9 MP.
ridiculous. I think, overall with the way black works, I mean, they sacrifice a lot, but they also have ways to heal, right? They just use selfish predation, so it's never really been that big of a risk for most of those decks. But like once you take those heals away, they'll probably start to feel it, right? Like if you're playing against a burn deck, you really want to find those predations. If you don't have them, you really start to feel it. So there are cases where that is a bad thing, and they do care about hurting themselves. Obviously, you can't play Alexia when you have 3 health left, but we're still going to run those cards because they're really strong. But when you look at a deck like this, it's like look how much self damage you're doing with this deck, and it just doesn't matter because they have virus, right? Like, you can play virus and still hurt yourself afterwards. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I wish virus worked similarly to Devil Trigger, where it doesn't
Mhm.
negate the effects of life sacrifice, and it
Right.
really shouldn't, considering it's like so specific on only purple heroes.
Yeah, like double trigger. Like I've seen some people play this exact same deck but with double trigger, but you can still hurt yourself when you're in double trigger. And I saw some Japanese streamer actually killed himself that way.
Ow.
Yeah, like he tried to do a bloodbath, but then he was like, "Oh, I'm dead," even though he was in double trigger. So I thought that was kind of cool.
God, I just think Devil Trigger into Monstrous is the most cowardly thing in the game.
I mean, it's pretty cheap. They never did anything about virus, so people are definitely going to still use it, especially in their stall decks.
Yeah, like when you're doing the red matchup, just against like Burn Dante and even this deck, if you run
Yeah.
Devil Trigger, it's just like, oh, you have that agents ready to go, just to tap for 2. It's just like tap, okay, respond with Monstrous, and it's like to even be even more sure that you don't do it. I'm gonna use Devil Trigger and then just yeah, you can't do anything. That card's useless now.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about buying time, which is pretty much what purple is needed to do until they got mana ramp, which then needed to get nerfed like right away because they shouldn't have gotten that.
Nerf it right away. 4 months later,
5 months. Yeah.
5 months. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah. They definitely let it hang for a bit too long, but they knew they had to nerf it eventually.
Y'all had your fun.
Yeah, I mean, purple just shouldn't have ever gotten that because, yeah, like I said before, they have other ways to catch up and stall with halts and stealing units and virus, I guess, counts, and other stuff, double triggers. But just giving them mana ramp meant like they never have to wait that long to catch up and play their big cards again.
Yeah, I think all the steals and bounces are very much like all the destroys in that they are played at a mana advantage a lot of the time, even when they like aren't played in response to save MP. Like you can play them first and still be like, yeah, I'm ahead.
Yep. So Tip Top brings up a good point where I was gonna ask this question, but when you see a deck like this, do you guys think the main problem is black being able to give so much mana and buffs, and instant attack and pull units out of the hand, or do you think the bigger issue is with purple, having these resonate units being easily abused, having flight with hookshot easily available, being able to cancel with negates and stall the game longer with virus? Like, which color do you think is the bigger problem here?
I think
I
the
have to
negates
say-
keep it consistent.
I'm gonna have to go with black just because we're also
Ooh.
seeing the rise of a red black aggro deck, which is very similar. And it's just these super cheap buffs, and it's one of those things is it doesn't really matter how much life you're sacrificing if you're doing like 20 to face with 1 hit, right? Like that's the risk to reward just doesn't really match right now. Like these cards, these buffs have already like always been some of the best buffs in the game. And it's even crazy, like we were talking about it, how many options you have of different buffs you can put from black to make this like, stronger or different. And
What-
especially adding in like these 1 MP cards that let you just completely like destroy tempo, right? Like you can just keep spamming Black Crown's Madness and then just make this huge threat that you can't deal with.
What's an example of the red black formula?
It's Shoryu.
Okay.
So using Valstrax, you're using that 1 unit that gets attack on resonate and has spillover. I'm forgetting the name of it right now. It's like a monster or something.
Glavius, I think it is.
Yeah,
Oh,
Gladius.
Glavenus.
You're using the some decks use Neon Tiger just because it's tanky. Obviously we have Lucia. Um, you have Eliminator, the agility monkey. That can be pretty scary once it's buffed up. Like I saw someone put a state on the monkey, and it got up to like 8 attack, and they gave it Shuryu, and that was the game. Yeah, so it's a lot riskier than the purple version of course, because you don't have virus as a backup plan. You don't have negates, but you have black buffs, as Thirsty was saying. Like you have ways to buff their HP back up if they're close to dying. And it's more about just getting that explosive power out early. I mean, opener Valstrax just steals so much health right away, so that's a good start for any deck. But you give Valstrax Shuryu and buff it up a little bit, all of a sudden you've won the game. It's a really fast deck.
How many
Yeah,
units
and
does it run?
It runs more units, I believe, than
Yeah, it's
this
definitely
deck.
more. It's at least 9, but it might be 12.
Yeah, I mean, like I know in the past, and I've always kind of disagreed with it, that like green is the best splash color, and that's definitely how it started out. It's black now, right? Like that's black has just been kind of splashed for the longest time with the zombie engine, and now it's even being splashed outside the zombie engine. It's just so strong to kind of keep all these mana advantages while living in a dual color MP restriction, and we see the strength of like summon minions getting a it's one of those things that I think the problem is too many actions are created with the idea of playing it raw, and they don't really get too much into the idea of action phase, right? Like, because if you do summon minions, 3 MP, if the other person responds, ooh, another summon minions, I now got 8 MP worth of units on the board for a total of 4 real MP. Like, that's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if some minions actually gets the change, assuming sticks around. But yeah, I think that should get looked at.
Most of these actions on screen aren't as good in mono.
I mean, they can be good. It's pretty common to see buffing in Ashura decks, as well as even just Ouroboros using buffs on super tyrants and like one frenzy thrown in for flavors are pretty good, and Bolt Reavers is pretty popular.
I see a bloodbath on a super tyrant, I get scared.
Yep.
It's a lot of damage.
How about a bloodbath on Valasak?
I was gonna
Who
mention
crazy to do that.
which I think is the dumbest fucking thing ever. I was also gonna try and maybe have a section where we talk about our least favorite card in the game. Yeah, Val Hazak and Bloodbath should not equal 10. Should not equal 10.
I disagree with Kyle that most of these actions aren't strong in mono. They are. It's just mono runs a different thing too. Like I don't doubt that you couldn't make an aggressive black deck and still not do well with it.
I mean, you definitely can. That's why you play Ashura.
Fucking heartless experiment, dude. Calm down.
They're usually too slow. I mean, maybe less consistent. I agree with that. I don't agree they're slow, because it's not like you're getting slowed down by playing any of these. You're not getting. It's not any faster in a dual color, right? Like you can definitely look into making, like putting this in with certain cards in there. Like cards, there are cards in black that could like benefit from this stuff, but it's just not going to be as consistent as the Resonate for sure.
Yeah, Ashura has been around. Ashura Uro.
God, I hate it. Sure, least favorite here, right there. Yep.
It's pretty annoying.
I also
dropped a bit.
I also disagree with the idea that black doesn't have the units. They all come from different colors, because I mean, Shinku Zombies is a very popular deck that runs 2 types of red units, turtles and maybe a Cody. Everything else is black units.
Yeah. I think it's mostly for the aggro decks though. You're not going to do a lot of those, revenge units. It's more focused on like fast units or flying units, which black doesn't have much of. But they are around. Like I said, the agility monkey is one.
I think without Gate and Junie, that zombies would be well bad. Need those 2 MP units.
I mean,
Keeps
yeah,
that
the
shit
the
fast.
MP returns in the zombie core are definitely pretty important. So I'm kind of surprised they didn't do anything about Gate. They just left him alone.
He's 2 MP, and he can also sometimes create a dive bomb effect. I don't know, just wild.
6-9 for 3.
Seems fair.
Yep. Returns 1 MP.
I
At
just-
least they got rid of Hatred Reborn, right, guys?
Pandas. I haven't seen that too much, but
It's just not that good. It can win, but it's
my favorite part about pandas is putting down shit like Mikhail that just wastes their fucking time, but it makes it so they don't deal face damage. You still got
Yeah.
a living panda. It's just like, ooh, man, that sucks. Minus
Yeah,
30%. Ooh.
Pandas is like its problem is exactly what I think most of us thought it was going to be. Is that like you can't? It's a lot harder to fish for these pandas, so you're just kind of doing nothing for most of the time. And by the time you like, you'll just draw all your Hatred Reborns and your Warp Research, but you only have like one panda in the pool, and it's like, damn, I can't really do anything. And then you leave that panda ignored for a while too. It's like, well, I am falling behind in mana horribly.
yep.
Why does Shar even exist, dude?
Do you want more decks or
Well, what do we want to focus on here? We want to focus on what's good, or so right now there's a ton of decks that are really good.
yeah?
Sorry, that was my phone.
Oh, that's fine.
I didn't hear anything.
Oh, good.
Yep. I could send. I mean, I could send my Raging Demon list that I've been using, but it's pretty vanilla, and you know, it's pretty much what you'd expect right now.
Send it. I want to see how much I hate it. I
this is the
honestly, we were saying Shinku zombies, or not Shinku zombies. Shinku, human Shinku is the strongest. Like last week, Raging Demons looking pretty good too.
Yep. Yeah. But I can send the human or I mean I have a human Shinku list, but it's probably not the best right now. There's Thirsty with the I was just gonna look that up, the zombie list.
Oh, you know what?
I did change mine a little bit though, so
Okay.
I made this.
I made this.
Changed.
I
I changed
made
2
this.
cards.
Yeah, so that's I guess we're doing Raging Demon first. So this is the list I've been using. It's like 9 or 1% or something like that. Changed it around a little bit. You'll definitely see some versions that run 3 predations, but I feel like it bricks pretty early on, and I don't like throwing away predations if I have a choice not to. So you definitely want to run 3 Hados. That's like pretty much the most insane card right now for this deck. As soon as you ascend with either Agile or Alexia, you are going to want to throw Mastery of the Hado on them right away. And get a crazy amount of MP in return once you ascend on them or let them die. So, yeah, I've had plenty of matches where I've gotten all 3 Hados on a single unit and gotten 9 MP back as soon as they died. And yeah, it's kind of hard to lose after that happens.
2 fates. That seems.
Yeah,
You're not gonna kill
fates.
enough Nashes with that.
We're definitely, I said before we could be at a point where we want to run 3 fates, and there's definitely some decks like Viper Trish where you do want to have 3 fates, but overall the meta is still in a weird spot where you don't want 3 fates because you might run into the mirror, you might run into yawn, and if they're playing smart, a lot of their units are going to be ascension, and you can't really do much about it with just fate. Obviously you'll have other targets you can kill with fate, but it's kind of awkward to get out at certain times. As funny as that sounds, like there's definitely points where you can like just brick with fate for a while, especially in the mirror, because if they just flood the board with agiles, there's like not much you can do about it. But that's why we have 3 Alfreds. Like Alfred is really great right now in the current state of things because there's some wacky interactions you can do. How about ascending Alexi on top of Alfred for a double kill? That's my favorite,
Yeah,
that's
that's
my
what
favorite
Paggy's.
play in this game right now. There's nothing better than that play. It's absurd.
Thanks, I
Killing
hate
a
it.
5 cost and a 3 cost at the same time, pretty much win the game right there.
That's what I think Packy's talking about. A tale of two of my fucking units fucking dying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll see other decks include the other gate at 3 cost, which is 2/7. I'm not a big fan of that unit just because it's more self damage and you don't really need more ascension. Um, while you have 6 units that can do it, and one of them just keeps coming back as a revenge unit, so it's technically more than 6 ascensions, right? Um, and even with just zombies and agiles as our own revenge units, you can get Sigma to 8 tick really fast. Um, I've gotten it with like 3 minutes remaining one time. It's pretty absurd, and you might see other destroys in other decks like Sample Collection. Rebels Memories is a pretty popular one too. I prefer Obliteration because you can actually target something, but against something like Veil, like Guy Armor Shara or God Car Machine, I would rather have Rebels Memories. But we do have Cruel Game as the great equalizer, as I like to call it. If the board is overwhelmed, or if there's like a Viper and a Trish on the board at the same time, and you have this, it's really good. But I still like running Murder Spikes as well. So yeah, if you're willing to count all the destroys in this deck, there's a lot of destroys in this deck. And then the zombie core rounds it out. So yeah, this is a really good deck.
Yeah, I think I was willing to declare like Human Shinku a stronger deck overall, but this is the one that I hate to fight against.
This definitely beats Shinku, human version anyway. It's tougher against zombies, but it mostly feels like a mirror comes down to the end.
Like I feel like I'm not allowed to play units when this deck is in play, and then when they do, it's just like a send. Okay, mastery the Hado. Okay, I get
Yeah,
3. Try to blow it up.
like
Okay, I
Hado-
play another one.
Hado's just insane for catching up. Like, I don't know how we got to this point or why it took this long. But this definitely should have been a staple in Demon for a while now. But it only caught on recently, funny enough.
I think it's probably the strongest deck in the game. I mean, there's only 2 fates in this one, but I feel like whenever I play against them, they have like 3 fates and 3 just everything. Like
Yeah,
betrayals.
like-
I ran into one that had 3 fates, 3 betrayals. And
Yeah, I don't know about betrayal
just-
being a thing right now,
ugh.
but it's pretty good. It's just more limited, right?
Yeah.
But if it hits right, it's pretty damn good.
I expect like 1 betrayal. I know I had a match where I expected 1 betrayal. It came out and I was like, good, I'm okay to play FD Ryu. And like they ended up using another one on my like Carlos, and I'm like, son of a bitch, dude. Like I'm
Yeah,
willing to
I mean-
lose mana.
Fate's always gonna be that card until it changes, but I feel like it's always been just 2 fates is the right call. Because like I said, there's too much ascension around where you're in a weird spot if you have like 3 fates in hand. It's just weird, right? Like I'd rather play more units if I had the choice, because the hand can definitely brick at some points if you're not careful. Which is why I'm saying you have to get those Hados out like right away. Because if you draw 3 Hados and don't have an ascended unit, then you're kind of stuck. So you need to
Uh-oh,
ascend
it's exactly
and
like
then
Bushinryu.
play it out right away. Yeah, it's kind of like Bushinryu, but you can make it more active, willingly.
Get a card or get 3 mana. I can
Yeah.
really get to 3 fucking mana.
Yeah, and I'm agreeing with you, Kyle, and Nintendo and other people. Like this Hado wasn't as popular last season because Zero was in purple in general.
Oh,
So
yeah,
Hado
getting
felt
bounced.
like a waste. If your unit got bounced, yeah. Which this deck is scared of purple for sure. Like it can lose the 4s. I lost the 4s using this deck, and I lost to Inner Demons, which was also running 4s. Using this deck, those were some of my toughest losses, and my other loss was against a Shinku, which I just didn't handle correctly. But I beat every other Shinku, so yeah, this definitely has a better matchup against Ryu. But yeah, if 4s become more popular, this deck actually might drop off a bit in terms of like rating anyway, and winning, because yeah, all those bounces, steals. It's very easy to steal an agile with 4 eyes because just starting at 5 HP makes it a very easy target.
Yeah.
And stealing Sigma is a very big one too.
I felt kind of in a comfortable place with 4s coming back. playing Jill, because it's just like the old days.
Yeah.
Back when we were kids, dude, when you just play like a fucking Carlos, and it's just like,
Yeah.
better shield it first before it gets hit, or try and put a Mikhail out so that you can steal that. Okay, 5 HP is just that magic number that you can just poke, steal.
And I will say, like, in terms of black, this is definitely black's best option right now for mono black anyway. Sadly, like a Wesker deck would look almost the same. Instead of Hado, you probably run Speech. But you could literally run the exact same deck in Wesker, like Dark Destruction, and it just wouldn't do as well because Demon has the better option of killing anything you want, right? And potential twofers with Alexia are just it's just insane. Like, I've so many twofers with Alexia like win the game.
Remember when Four Eyes could steal with 4
Yeah.
HP? No, it can't.
No.
Just, I mean, I didn't play black at the time, but just the idea that like, oh, Super Tyrant comes out, okay, Shadow Blade, now it's mine. It's like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Kyle, I mean, like, if they steal your Sigma, it's not like an automatic loss, right? But it's definitely a setback, right? Like, if the fours can stall long enough to get to the end game, you're gonna wish you had that Sigma back.
God, when Beltway could bounce 4 cost, no, I just really hated that. That was probably my other moment with this game, just being my angriest whenever you have those games where like they find all their demonics and all their beltways, and you just spend the whole game putting the card in your pocket and putting it back on the board, and then it gets bounced, and you're like, uh-oh, gotta do it again.
I feel like if they actually reverted the nerfs on fours, both Beltway and Four Eyes, I don't think that would be a problem.
Oh, it would absolutely be a problem.
No, I don't think it would be that big of an issue.
Stealing raw sigmas, stealing so much of 4 HP penguins,
Steal
all
raw
that stuff
Sigma.
just
Hey,
instantly
man.
stolen. Irises,
man.
bouncing fours again. Nah, no thank
Hey
you.
man, you gotta be more careful.
Oh, that reminds
No,
me, you
that
could
what
steal
see
be
anything
more
wrong
Nevin.
with that.
careful.
I don't
Be
see
more
anything wrong
careful
being
with
more careful
with there's no
in
way
this
to be
game.
careful about a unit that's their base HP. There's too many 4 HP base units.
You wait for them to have at least 2 slots filled, then you play your Sigma. It's not that
Cool, so
difficult.
I'm just gonna get pinged by 3 damage from Lupo for like 20 seconds because I'm just like, well, I gotta wait till he plays something else, and
No, you play other stuff.
like what? That just is just gonna get stolen.
Look, if you're playing against fours now, you have to accept something's gonna get stolen. Like, you can't avoid it.
You couldn't avoid it back
That's what
then.
happened.
That's the thing. I would play X with heart tank and heals, and I would still just get shit stolen because that 4 HP thing was just too ridiculous.
Yeah, but I'm saying even now you're gonna get stuff stolen and bounced. Like, you can't avoid it.
no,
It's
that's
just-
fine. But
it's just
you
extra
don't need to
numbers.
be stealing 4 HP things. It's just, no.
Eh, I wouldn't
No.
mind.
I
It's
miss Force
wild.
too, but no.
I mean, shit, you can steal a Nevin right now. Isn't that big?
Well, this thing is, I was gonna say, if you put Nevin down and you killed a unit with its drain, the other person could put down the 2 units and steal it 4 eyes. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, like that's the thing. It's
That's fine.
most likely you're not going to see a Nevin at the 2 HP.
God,
That's not fine.
That's-
Beltway,
I think it's fine.
Beltway would be fine. 4
Yeah,
eyes, no.
see? All right, so we just bring Beltway back to normal.
no,
I'm fine with that.
nope.
That I am fine with.
I think it's fine.
I think you should go to hell.
But you see, like the committal that fours have to do, which is why I've been saying in a few streams, like, this deck is good, but you can't make mistakes with it. So it's never going to be like a tier 1 or tier 0 deck, because all the higher top tier decks, you know, they allow at least you can make some mistakes and still recover as long as you have, like, you know, the core and the win con available, right? It's for this, like, the entire deck is the win con. Like, you're trying to make every play count, because obviously 4 costs are more expensive than 3s and 2s and all this other stuff that you can't get a lot of mana back on return with a deck like this. So, like, Yawn's always going to be ahead of you if you fall behind, and, you know, if Ryu clears your board, it's going to take a while to wait and then play your units. So it can be a little difficult for this deck to catch back up. So you got to make sure your plays are really good. But I think this is potential tier 2.
Namiel's my favorite part of this. I think that's a very interesting new card, even though it is super yikers when it comes to like you tap this unit, you're getting fucking bounced, dude. Someone's
I
getting
saw I was watching Nintendo earlier this morning. He used a similar deck to this, and he had Namiel on the board, and his opponent played Cody, and Cody just flew back after getting played.
That's kind of dope though. You get the 4 free damage. Nice.
Yeah, I mean you get multiple Codys that way, but it was just funny to see him just like just fly back. Like,
Oh,
all right, I'm out.
That's my experience with using Claire against Telemundo, dude. It's just like, oh yeah, she fucking dies instantly.
Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of people don't really know the interaction with Namiel. So when Namiel's blocking, it doesn't do the effect right away. Like, say they block a 2/5, like a gate or something. They'll take the damage and survive, but the unit at 2/3 will stay on the board. It only works when Namiel is in the attacking phase. So if Namiel's attacking, if their line's at the end, and someone tries to block with a 2/5, that unit will actually get bounced back. It's the way the order works. It's a little weird.
Yep, counterattack is last after the effects. So it's the same thing with like Roggy. When Roggy's attacking, if he's at 1, he'll do 2 damage because he's taken the damage.
Yeah, that's the stuff that's probably been the hardest for me to kind of internalize, right?
Yeah, that's just something to keep in mind for people trying to play any monsters that work that way.
Yeah, Namiel's interesting. It's cool to see 4s back, but this whole Oro shit, didn't see any of that today, but every time I saw 4s, I was like, I need to remove this shit so we don't see Oro.
Yeah, Aura would definitely give, like, red decks in general a headache, which is why I like it.
Which is why I like it. No.
And it's just some Ascension, right? Like, you could argue that you might want to do more Ascension. Some people recommended Bulwark. You could even do something like a Victor, which, is not a bad play. But, something like Rook is a pretty good Ascension target for a deck like this, or even 4 Eyes, right? It's just low stats. They did their job. They can get Ascended on.
Yo, I wish I could, like, somehow, like, get 2. Dude, you just, like, you play Genesis, someone plays Bulwark, dude, you copy it. Bruh. Activator on it, and then every Genesis you get 2 doggos. That'd be fucking wild. Give it to me, daddy.
What else can we highlight?
Well, we could do another vote again, like we did last time, to see what the strongest deck is. Kind of like poll the audience again, see what they think.
Yeah, we could do that. I was also going to ask, like, what do you guys think is the easiest deck and the hardest deck to use right now, since that topic has come up sometimes this week?
I know Thirsty's answer. Easiest deck in the world.
I mean, easiest for me is I still think is Shinku humans.
Yeah.
Hardest deck. I mean, in terms of it's a probably something like this For's deck. I would probably put in much harder category. And Jill is kind of up there as well. Just because, and the reason why I say like Shinku zombies is super easy is that it's really hard to get like a bad opening hand and being like, damn, how do I adjust? How do I deal with this? Because it's you're gonna have your humans, right? Like you're gonna get a BB, you're gonna get an evil Ryu, or like the Ascension Ryu. You're gonna have like a Rashid, or like you'll have a lot of options to open up with, and the goal is always the same. They all do the same thing. You don't have to adjust it like, oh, how am I gonna use this tool? How am I gonna use this? They all it's all one tool. Fours is yeah, and like you have the simplest actions, right? And 3 of them don't even target. you just throw them out. And when you get to like fours, like you could get a bad hand if you open up with like 3 rooks and then 2 4-eyes. It's like, what the fuck do I do with this? This sucks. And like having to deal with actual lane management too. It's like, well, you have 1 unit there, you want to steal. Do you put another unit to keep pressure going, or do you really hold out for that steal? And what are you stealing and when are you shadow blading? How do you deal with it when there's multiple targets that are stealable? Like you have to prep for stealing the worst possible target. Similar things with Jill. I know like the high rollness of Jill is there, but you open up with like 3 Bushins and a Claire and a Cody. That's a very similar effect of like, well, what the fuck do I do with this? And that could be really hard to work with. It's not like a death sentence, but it really sucks to get put in that case. And you really have to be able to adjust your tools and dealing with that too, especially with a lot of things out there. Mallet's favorite card, Trust Amid Suspicion. Once that puts something in your pocket, it's like, what the fuck do I do with this thing?
I just curl up into a fucking ball and I just cry, dude. Fucking stupid.
Yeah.
It's like one game where it put trump card in my fucking pocket at the beginning of the game. So I'm like, well, that's the end of my pocket, dude. Fucking pocket size 1.
Yeah, and you get in those situations, it's like you start reaching the point. It's like, I kind of have to mill and explore here. What explore do you want to mill? And the different explorers are all different tools to how do you want to prep for this matchup in front, right? Like if I'm playing Jill and I'm playing against Black, like shields are still nice, but I'm valuing detonates a lot more. And vice versa. If I'm playing against Ryu, detonates are still nice, but I'm valuing those shields a lot more from Carlos, and that's something you always have to kind of keep in mind. Compared to, I would say with human Shinku, there's some minor differences, but the game plan is always the same. Slap cards down, do damage, have board presence while they don't.
Does it have HP? No, it doesn't.
It did.
It did, dude. Past tense. So you think easiest deck is human Shinku, hardest deck is fours or Jill? Fours Jill?
I'll probably give it to fours, just because the current fours right now, and like especially looking at this list, it doesn't have that option for like explosive power that Jill does. Like there's not.
Yeah, you have brainwash, dude. You gotta steal it. You're gonna steal your big trump card.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just kidding.
there's brainwash, but that's really dependent on them playing something, and you can't always account for that.
Dude, look how
and a
honorable
lot more
this-
players are running Rescuer's Bullet right now too.
Really?
Oh yeah, I'm
Dude,
tired of seeing
the
Rescuer's Bullet.
pull-out king, dude. That clip, that Ryu, that fucking pulled out 3 times in one action phase is like, dude, calm down.
Exactly.
Yep.
There-
3
No, no.
Why would you run 3 of them?
Hey man.
Yeah, so I mean, just if I had to give it to the hardest one, I would give it to Morgan, just because for this deck, because it doesn't have that high roll capability.
Whatever, man. I thought you were cool.
Hey man,
No,
you're
I'm-
second hardest in my heart.
I'm, I'm totally joking because I was wondering, like, why do I respect this list so much? Oh, because there's not that many negates. There's only 1. There's not even Mavericks.
The guy that beat me didn't even use a negate, and I'm still
Ooh,
trying to figure that out.
See, that's what I think is so like neat. Like, you're actually having to deal with stuff instead of just no.
Yeah.
I don't want you to do that. No.
Well, to me, I think you have to have at least 1 negate, but you're not just throwing it out.
Exactly.
Like I've seen people negate fates and stuff like that, and those are probably good negates. But like when you have only 1 negate, you have to make it count. So like I watched Nintendo play against Ryu, and it's like I watched him throw away his fate to save his Lupo from dying to, I forget what it was. It was like a Chain Fist or a Rescuer's Bullet or a Trust. It was something. And then he ended up getting hit with Agent's Memories like right after. And I was like, well, the negate probably would have been better spent there. But he did end up winning that game because of a hilarious lip/brainwash exchange.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Anyways, but that's the point, right? Like you have 1 negate, you have to make it count. So like if you're against Trish Viper, Tenkoha, you have 1 negate. Are you gonna negate their summon minions? Are you gonna negate their frenzy, or are you gonna negate their virus? Right? Like which one is more important to you?
Yeah, I think that's
and
super
it's
respectable.
pretty obvious, like So you got to think about that. Which again, this deck encourages thinking, which is also why it's hard to use because some people don't want to think. So it's and thinking involves when you want to use that negate. But I could talk about fours forever. But yeah,
Forever, dude. I think
Forever.
the prevalence of black and how it has a lot of one-cost actions that are still good value. I think that is what's keeping negates less important. Like you have shields, you have mastery of the Hotto, you have selfish, you have massacre. They're all like one cost, so it does not feel good to negate them, right?
yeah. But you'll see the more heavier decks, or like the more action heavy decks, I should say, probably rely on more negates, right? Like the Tenkoha deck has 4 negates, 3 interference, 1 maverick, because they need them. They need to protect their units from seals or destroys. So they're justified there. Like resonate decks have a good amount of negates. They don't go too crazy with it, but they still need them for those seals and destroys. But for fours, it's more like, all right, well, you just used fate on my Lupo. That means you won't have a fate for my, hunk or something like that, right? Or the fate for my Mizu. So like you just have to keep going through the list, and you don't care if they try to take one of your units down because you're just going to get another one out eventually. Yeah, it's difficult to accept, right? Like if you have that negate, you want to do it. But sometimes it's not the best play. You got to think about the future.
I just want to negate everything.
Yeah. I mean, you could run a 10 negate deck, but I don't know, man. And I've seen purple black also use hidden intent, and that's like extremely suicidal. That's like beyond insanity.
I don't
but
feel
it
like
works
living.
because it's a negate. Yeah, it works sometimes, but you're definitely like shortening the match even more, one way or the other.
Lost to green, purple, hidden intent, and ranked.
Yeah.
Lol. Sorry.
Like it's a negate. It'll
Charge
work.
shot Viper Gambit.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, what do you think? Easiest and hardest decks?
Hardest to use. I definitely think you got to be careful with these fours, right? You got units that have high health and units that have low health. I think Hunk has to be played at the perfect time. You can't just throw him out whenever. Because 2 HP, man, it's like 1 shield, sure, but that could be broken pretty easily. I think about the matchups that I have to be really focused in, which is like Human Shinku, and like how it just spits so much damage that you don't want to have to be forced to play like a 4-Rise or a Beltway whenever you have nothing going. So I think yeah, I kind of think that right now Forest is probably really hard to play. You have to be playing stuff at the right time. You have to know your matchup. But I think Jill also has that situation. You have to know how to dig yourself out of a shitty hand, which I've done quite a few times in the last few days. I'm trying to check my bias because I haven't really played Forest. I've just observed a little bit with the new stuff and a lot back when it was the shit. Yeah, Forest is probably harder, but there's still a lot of hoops to jump through with Jill, and I'm starting to I feel like my games today, which went really well, I feel like I'm more attuned to what the other decks that people are running are doing. Like I have a better matchup knowledge, and I feel like that was working to my advantage most times today. Easiest deck? It's hard to not just say Human Shinku. It's like you do lose a lot when you don't act right away. I feel like the people that want to just do really bursty attacks are going to be right at home. I did have a couple games today where I removed a unit before they could react, and they would they'd put down a Sheva and get nothing out of it. and that was kind of like the beginning of the turning point. Like, oh shit, how do I come back from this? So easiest deck to play, it might have to be easiest deck that's good, consistently good.
Yeah, I mean, easiest like ladder deck. Something you can counter.
Wesker Dark Destruction, I think, is probably the biggest, turn brain off. Tee-hee, the letters lit up on my keyboard. Destroy with discard, destroy with discard. Oh, discard has MP4, so I'm going to play Fate. Discard
the
is
20
this,
destroy
I'm
version.
going to use DD. I don't know, just heavy destroys, it just seems like
Yeah.
you're being patient, I guess. You're just like, it's like tower defense. It's like, okay, they have to come get me.
Yeah, it's pretty lame. I mean, you could argue that's pretty much the same as a Jill Genesis deck, right?
Yes, I hate.
I was waiting for you to bring that up.
Yeah. It's just I tried to make work. The only deck I feel like could be fun and somewhat consistent is not even that consistent with Genesis, which is Zombie Genesis. 4 Explore units and no activators, so yeah. Yeah, those destroy decks, the destroy happy decks, I hate seeing them. They're such a waste of time, and it just feels like they don't have to really risk anything because all their destroys are played at such mana advantage. And Dark Destruction is just probably
simple.
more annoying. Just because, if they have enough destroy cards, they can sit there and wait for you to play units and kill them. Oh, that's a 5? Okay, well, I'm gonna play this 20 AP action or this 20 AP unreactable thing, and they're gonna lose 5 MP, and that hurts, man.
Redcap asks, do top players have secret lists that they don't tell anyone about? What do you guys think?
I think some people, I don't know, when I got quote unquote caught with Dongo's deck, he made it sound like he was trying to keep it under wraps.
Yeah, that got out pretty fast.
Yeah, he said like, okay, I'll just try to keep it what do you say, more under lockdown or something like that next time. So I made it sound like he had something to hide.
I think most players are sharing their stuff pretty frequently now. Like even True Asian is like posting his lists, and he was used to be one of the biggest purveyors of don't let anyone know this. But even he's doing that now. So like it's more common now for people just to share their decks, and I know a lot of Japanese streamers don't do shit either. Like a lot of them are playing and climbing and doing really well. And even someone like Kyle, who's too much of a bitch to stream ranked, will
shit!
post his list on Twitter, and let people know about it on Discord and stuff. So yeah, I mean, there's stuff like that, going on. I don't think anyone's keeping something on the wraps. And even if they were, like, someone would encounter it on ladder. Like I found the fours list on ladder, and then I told my entire stream about it for the rest of the stream, and we even have it right here. So, I mean, this was probably the only secret list I could think of right now. I mean, there's Rana's temptation list, but I saw that. So I don't think there's anything secret about this stuff. You just got to find it.
Generally, the secret to of these things come from a lot of players. They don't really want to post it until like it's proven, right? Because then you're just kind of posting things left and right. And so a lot of players won't really post them until like they have some success with it. And with that, I mean, it's not really useful to even try to hide your list because people will play you, and it's when you play enough matches against, like, you can make that list out. It's not too hard for the most part.
And then the TEPPEN channel exposes your list anyway.
Exactly.
The same game where you play a doll's memories and accidentally buff your enemy. Ooh, ouch. Ouch.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. The first like week and a half of this season, I felt like I was struggling because I was like, I can't find like a good Jill list. I tried making one of my own based on like what I thought would be just good in general, and then I was just losing to black, and I didn't know how to get around it. And I saw a couple screenshots of people hitting like mad high numbers with Jill, and no list was accompanied with it, and I was just like, Jesus Christ, what do I do? Like, so I'm like sitting here staring at screenshots to see like what are they doing, how are they, what are they, and then you see like what's on their field, what's in their hand, and I'm like, I can't piece together the rest of this deck. Why is Penguin in fucking? Is it something that they copied? Is like I'm racking my brain around this. I just couldn't figure it out. So there's so much variance for Jill, and it was bothering me that like no one was posting a list with these big numbers. And finally, I forget who tossed me Tarakumon's list, and it was just like, oh, so you're saying basics? don't
It was
don't
actually
mess with gimmicks.
it was actually a bigger deal last season for people to figure out like the perfect zero list, and it was really difficult to like find the best list, and a lot of people were keeping those secret. And you'll see like at the end of season when Japanese players finish their placing or something, they'll share the list at the very end. And I had no idea that Earth was running a Surges until the very end. And that was a mind explosion.
If we still
like,
had Ghost
yeah,
Iowa,
like
dude,
with
he'd be
Zero,
rolling
like,
over in his grave.
Yup. Like with Zero, we knew like most of the lists, like the auto includes, but there was always like 2 or 3 tech choices that were just like see for yourself. But like, and then other lists that were doing well for True Asian and Skyward Zero and Pro Circuit were running like greeds, and other lists were running jesters, and it was like kind of all over the place. But at least everyone had V and Brainwash, right? So, as far as that goes, I wouldn't. The only thing I could say about that is like I wouldn't stress yourself so much on finding the perfect lists for anyone out there. Like as long as you have a core understanding of what belongs in the list, like obviously every revenge deck is going to have Sigma. That's never going to change. You're always going to have zombies. You're always going to have Gates and Junies, right? You start from there, and then you go off of like, well, how many fates should I throw in? 2, 3, whatever. Like you don't have to just find like an exact list online or even on the stream and just copy it. You should just understand what works in the deck and what else would go alongside it, and then kind of like work off of that and see like, oh well, what else is good? What else do I like using? What else has been proven to work? And you'll probably find more success that way.
Well, Play TEPPEN had a big paragraph post we should address. Honestly, I think net decking is healthy for the game. Getting a deck and being like, so this is what everyone is playing above me, helps you see where you can go, but it's also that piloting isn't so easy for the majority of them. Net decking and watching streams helps me understand where I'm lacking in understanding of the meta and how I can tweak to make it mine. While you will see a lot of similar decks when you hit a certain plateau, some of the time that forces more creativity to push new things to get those decks rotated out. Ooh.
Yeah.
I was originally one of those boys that did not want to net deck at all, but as you can see, recently I have changed.
I will always net deck as a base and then see what I can change to deal with the problems that deck comes into.
Yeah.
It's a great place to start.
Oh, but can you show the zombies list? Kyle wants to see it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Get
Like
those
he can
zombies up
judge my
there.
changes because
We've looked
I
at
can't really-
4s long enough, I think.
Looked at force for long enough. Ugh.
Yeah, I think they've had their time.
Looks
There
like
it is,
a,
Kyle.
looks like a zombie deck if you ask me.
Yeah, so the difference between, because I was running Kyle's version for the longest time, the difference is as I took out the defects to put
Yes.
in one Alfred, a second Agile. He only runs one Agile, and then spreading infection because I was running into the Black Mirror a lot, and while Shinku zombies can keep up with Ashura, Raging Demon and all that, it just gets a little more difficult than it needs to. So spreading infection helps, because the idea, Jehu, is if you're playing defect anyways, you generally want to wait for 5 mana so you can kind of do the combo. So I figured with that mentality, it's not a problem to wait for 5 for spreading infection. Obviously, I don't get the combo, but it gives me a little stall time, and it's really good for letting me ascend those agiles and getting all those back. It slows the deck down a little bit in terms of getting to the Sigma Agile Wars, but having them like those 3/6 come back has been really beneficial. Um, and it doesn't. I don't need to rely too much on the defect RNG. That's kind of I don't like RNG too much. I try to tone it down as much as possible. So defect is a little too much, even outside the idea of like I know it's in the pool, so defect shouldn't be a problem when it pulls. But I want to have turtle bottom. Like that's just my thing. And so if it puts it at bottom, and that kind of messes stuff up for me.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, the
Yeah.
one of Alfred. Alfred's amazing, but it's 100% for the Black Mirror because a lot of Raging Demon uh players or just even the Shinku Zombie Mirror, they still don't realize that if you ascend Agile over Alfred and that kills Alfred, that deletes that Agile. It sends it to the grave. It does not
Yep.
activate Revenge. And that has saved me a ton of times.
It's a bit of RNG involved in that exchange, but yeah. The funniest thing you can do is like if they ever play out like a raw agile or something, like just put Alfred in front of it and they can't demon because there's a good chance it's just screwed. And a lot of people should realize that exchange is a thing because that'll lead to smarter play.
Yeah, so yeah, if Agile Ascending killed Alfred, it will kill the Agile before he gets Ascension bonuses, so he will not
Kyle
revenge.
didn't know that?
Kyle did not know that, even though I've told him that.
Wow.
I told him that because it
Damn.
happened in the Pauper tournament to me, and that's when I found out. So I told
Yeah.
him.
We're teaching Kyle how to play his own deck. One fact after another.
Wait, what did he did not know?
The Agile Alfred exchange.
What about them?
Agile
If
won't
you-
get revenge if Alfred kills it on the Ascension.
During Ascension.
Yeah. It's a very specific exchange, but it's definitely a thing.
Yeah, it's easy to bait out too, because a lot of players will just throw down the Alfred, so then I'll throw down Alfred as well. And
Yeah.
they generally won't want to waste an Alexia on that, and most they'll have Agile, so they'll go for Agile and then it's gone. It's deleted.
Yeah, it kind of sucks, but like if the only units on the board are Alfred, sometimes the smartest thing to do is wait it out. Like just don't do anything. Trust me.
So it's only
Yep.
when there's two Alfreds, right?
Potentially. If they also
Yeah.
use Raging Demon on an Agile in front of Alfred.
Yep.
And yeah, that'll trigger it as well.
Got it. Okay,
Oof.
all right.
That's what we've been discussing.
Yeah,
It's a
damn, Kyle,
similar-
I knew this too.
It's
Wow,
a
you didn't know
similar it's a similar effect of why you can't ascend like Turtleoid or Vega on the 4-drop Tyrant because he kills one cost. If you send him over it, his death triggers before they get the bonus attack to make them out of one attack, so it kills them both.
What the hell? I'm gonna kill my card right now.
Yeah, getting
Yeah.
death and like growth effects like really early in a certain order is pretty interesting to watch.
This is my tech.
Yeah, I made this. Oh, I had a game today where I didn't realize that the red numbers that appear for damage will appear like you can read them left to right in the order that they happen. I never noticed that.
Mhm.
Did everybody
What?
else know that? Just kidding.
Yeah.
Someone played Ken and then they put Sheva down, and I managed to pause on that moment. And in like the column farther to the left, you could see the numbers from Ken because growth happens first, and then one column over all the numbers that Sheva did.
Dang.
Well, I knew growth what happened first, but I didn't know that visually it shows them like you can read down in a line.
Yeah,
like,
they don't
all
just
the
stack
stuff
them.
Ken does, and then all the stuff Sheva does.
Yep.
I can go
I
try to
didn't
find that while you guys are talking.
know any of this. But it's definitely my tech.
made it.
My tech. Oh yeah, that
I made this.
from that Ryu that I beat up making top 100. Oh no, this is Akuma.
But I do like the infection inclusion. It is getting a little bit more popular now in like demon decks and just black decks in general. You would never want to play it like a month ago. A month ago, infection was kind of like a death sentence. You just kind of like wasted 5 mana. But in the current state of things, it's actually very playable. I mean, I don't use it in my deck, but it's really strong for just revenge decks in general because you're getting more ticks for Sigma, which is really important. That's 3 ticks in 1 card.
Yeah, and that's a lot. It's a lot of it's better now because, like you mentioned, there's a lot less purple, which means ceasefire, because ceasefire was the nightmare card for it. Still happens from time to time, but it's not as often.
I mean, it's ceasefire as well as Mavericks. You have to watch out for as well. But yeah, but in the previous month, those zombies weren't really doing anything, even if they did hit the board, because you were running the stuff like Denjin. Like, it was just kind of like a waste. But now they actually like live for more than a second. So
spreading is great for the on matchup because they gotta make some painful choices there. Like, if they start sealing those, I don't care.
Spreading versus summon leaders.
Yeah, right. The spreading wins that exchange too, which is nice.
Yup.
And they don't have a single target to really focus on or anything like that. And again, it's just really great for the ascension, all of that. It's fantastic. You just wait for one to drop and die, and you drop the turtle, and then the other ones are going to die real soon, and it just starts blowing up stuff. Yeah, infection has been pretty much great for me, and it's also been fantastic in the human Shinku matchup, which is already kind of more favorable for zombies.
So I found that frame where you can see all the damage lined up, and I have it on screen here.
Yeah.
And I paused this while reviewing footage, and I just like, I never noticed it did that.
I knew this.
Oh, oh man, it makes it a lot easier to keep track of the 2 like splashes, just to see how screwed you got on a split or something. But yeah, I don't know. I was just amazed that like, oh, it's like 1-4-2. That's all Ken's damage. 3-1. That's all Sheva's damage. So you can see how it got split.
Yeah.
I designed this.
I designed this. I love when games actually have proper conveyance. And that sounds like it's so basic, but just being able to go back and look at footage and just not think, yeah, I just got shredded. That's all there is to it. But it was like, okay, I can see how it got split up.
Keep trying to unpause my screen here.
Why is there 2 rocket launchers going in 2 different directions?
Because new gen Reploids. I don't know.
Makes you think.
Makes you think. Bam. Yeah, that sucked. It was funny because I set up this board and I was like, "Oh yeah, try to fuck this up."
Oh yeah. You're like, yeah. Answer this. He's like, oh damn, you answered it.
He was like, okay, anti-air to take the shield off, then bam, dude,
Damn,
everything's
alright.
dead.
Yeah, I was really smart playing their part. I mean, he still won, which is cool.
I still won, which is the important part.
But this guy definitely got some props for making that play.
Oh wait, here's another example where I use Axel and Claire. So you can
the
see the 6 and then the 2/2.
Yeah, pretty absurd damage.
It's outrageous. And he missed the Sheva. Get this kid out of here.
Yeah, that was just bad timing.
That's unfortunate. But
Late
that's how you gotta do. That's how you gotta do Ria dirty, man. You gotta take quick reactions.
It's partly why I think, because I mean, myself and Iowa didn't get the go yet, but I don't really know if Shinku Humans is the easiest deck to use. I think at a rudimentary level, it is very easy to just wait and then slam damage, but there are some reactions involved and an understanding of not overextending and just doing enough damage and then waiting more. Because I think a lot of people go ham where it's like, okay, you just place another unit, I'm gonna play BB and Rio at the same time, where like all you really needed to do was BB, and then you fall behind really fast that way. But obviously timing is a huge part of it too. Like, if you don't have good reactions, you probably can't play Ryu. Sad to say.
You gotta be straight zoomer, dude. You gotta be under the age of 18.
to drive this deck.
to drive this deck
Oh
Your
yeah,
parents
man.
have to name you Wajil.
Wajil.
with a
Yeah.
J. God damn it!
Yeah, I guess it does come down to perspective, but I feel like if your biggest problem is, oh, I need to be faster, I feel like that's an easier thing to kind of get like around and used to versus like
Mm.
I don't understand how I'm supposed to beat this, right? Like the game plan just
Yeah.
doesn't change. It's definitely just
Yeah.
smaller decisions and reactions.
It can get complicated, especially against green, but overall you're right. Like it's just playing damage and there's not much else going on with the deck. Maybe figuring out when to Shinku, save it or blow it. That can be pretty important, but I mean that goes for any hero art. Like when do you want to use it?
It's
But,
very
yeah.
similar to Dark Destruction in the way that you're just waiting for things to light up and then
Yeah.
removing them. But you do actually have to, like, you have some, what do you call it, responsibility to manage the units on your board. Like, you need a big human to make Sheva do to 4 damage, as opposed to just
Yeah.
fade him.
Yeah, I think someone played out a Sheva when they only had a Cody on the board. And it was like, what are you doing? Like, that doesn't
Bad.
work.
Bad boy.
Yeah, it's just really bad stuff, right? Like, and that can really make you fall behind if like your damage has to count. But it's definitely not as difficult as something like fours, where almost every play counts. But in terms of like other difficult decks, since we were talking about fours before, I think like Yawn is actually up there, and a lot of people don't really consider it
Ew.
to be a tough deck until you really think about it. But like that deck is really strong in a lot of matchups, but it does take a lot of persistence and yeah, like a lot of people just see their first unit get destroyed right away by fate and then they give up. It's like, well, the game isn't over yet. Like you have more cards to play. And
Yeah.
you can actually beat black with Yawn. It's winnable. I've seen it. Like you can actually draw out games against black and win. It's very difficult, but it's doable. And same goes against red. You got to protect your units. You got like 5 shields or whatever, sure, but it goes beyond that. You need more tanks and stuff, right? More health. And Yawn, there's definitely some thinking involved.
I haven't
it's
been
not
seeing a
just
lot
like
of shields in Yawn, actually. I'm happy.
yeah, it's not just play tribes, play Trinity, I win, right? Like there's more to that. And like figuring out when to ascend, right? Like you can't, like sometimes you want to save your ascension, sometimes you just want to do it right away to get the advantage. It's all about getting the board, right? And for Yawn, it's a little tricky, but you're at the advantage of mana, and you have to remember that, right? Like you're getting more mana than eventually. So you just have to get over that hump for a lot of matchups. But it's definitely up there. It might be in the top 3 of like most difficult decks. And I think
Listen.
purple resonate might be difficult as well overall.
Oh boy. I think that just comes down to like matchup knowledge, and I don't
Yeah.
think you need to know that much. You just kind of have to know like not even what they're doing, but like how can they stop me? So I don't know. Resonate. I'm not gonna. I disagree on that.
Well, resonate's tricky because it takes a little bit more patience and persistence. And maybe I should just hand it over to Iowa to give his perspective. But resonate's still kind of around. It's not super popular right now, but it's definitely a thing.
Yeah,
Um,
I hate Resonate, but I can agree with Big Rezo being a little bit more difficult to play.
Oh, big Rezo, yeah.
But yeah, Iowa.
I don't think it's difficult to play, but it's definitely still around. I don't know if I'm putting out secrets of my clan. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but I joined a purple clan.
I did see that.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool. What I found out is that they all play purple, and
Whoa.
there's a bunch of different decks, but they also like to play Resonate. Resonate is definitely one of the decks.
Yep.
No
And
greens
for
allowed.
me, after I started playing Resonate, I do think that it's definitely phased out. It's not that good, but people still play it. And to be honest, I do think
Yeah.
that it's one of the harder decks to play because right now compared to like way back when in like seasons 1 and 2, people were not boarding removal for big resonate, and now that they do, there's better ways to cycle in this game. There's a lot going on
Right.
when you're playing resonate that you have to like account for. So I think it is hard to play, but yeah. Are we still on the topic of what's the easiest deck and what's the hardest deck?
I suppose we
Yeah.
are.
What do you think?
Oh, can I put my input?
Oh, absolutely. I think you were the
Okay.
last one.
So I think the hardest archetype or deck to play has to be green. And the
Ooh.
reason why I say it's the hardest one is because you don't get everything easy. You kind of have to work for it. Although they do have better units nowadays. Like for example, red and black, they can pretty easily just like destroy anything, right? You play red, you can deal direct damage and then kill something. You know, dark destruction has a little bit easier. Black has a little bit easier. They just have cards that just say destroy. But green, green is kind of interesting because green has disarm and green has evasive action, which are seals and resets. So while you're not taking out the unit entirely, you still have to play, you know, kind of have like that control mindset to figure out what do you have to neutralize. And not only do you not completely remove the unit, you still have to deal with it. The only difference is that you reset it. So you have that control aspect of, you know, black and red is just not as good. Now the next thing is you know, board presence is green. While they have stronger units nowadays, they still struggle to have like really strong units, I think. Now what I mean by that is they have to work for their board. Whereas, you know, black has a gimmick where, you know, you can have a bunch of swarm units that are really cheap. Red has units where if you play the unit, you can get instant value by like taking away the opponent's units. So then you just get to keep yours. Except if you're running Jill. Jill's like a completely different story. Um, and then purple's the odd case because purple I feel like is the color that does not play the game traditionally. They're just a little bit like too fancy for us. And they have you know, negate 3-mana negate options or 1-mana negate options. But yeah, I would say that green is the hardest to play color.
Okay.
Mm.
I didn't
Yeah.
want to say it because I thought there was going to be green bias, but I'm happy to hear
Yeah.
this from you guys.
Oh.
Nah, green's too easy. I changed my mind.
It's too easy, dude.
You're
I
playing
mean,
Pride,
Knew
you
it,
just
man.
put
Nerf
it easy.
black is the easiest thing.
Yeah, bullshit.
Now the easiest archetype for me would have to be aggro decks because when I started
Yep.
playing card games, that was when I started playing Magic the Gathering, and the first deck that the store manager showed me how to play was called White Weenies.
Whoa.
So no, that's legitimately the deck because you played the mono white humans, and they called it White Weenies. You just had a bunch of cheap cost 1-mana units that were white, and they just did massive damage and had big
Yeah.
numbers.
So,
like aggro.
aggro
Very
decks in
aggressive.
this game are Weenie Hut Jr., dude.
Yep.
Yes.
Except
In
they're
our game, oh, go ahead.
no. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just
Good.
gonna mention Rathlow's Blazing Wall. That's very aggressive.
Yeah. It's like red weenies.
Yo, shutting that stuff down feels so good, though. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. I think yeah, I was gonna say in terms of like easiest decks, it's actually gonna be like aggro decks because it doesn't take much of a brain to wait for 5 mana and play Valstrax. I'm sorry guys. I just don't think you're that smart when you do that to me.
But what about
Um,
when they put a shield on it?
Oh, dude, they put a shield. They wait for
It's
you to play
fucking
damage and then
smart.
they put a shield on it.
So if they're patient enough for you to do an action and then shield it, then they are slightly smarter instead of just shielding it right away. But you're still not getting that much
Shit, a
credit.
shield, dude.
But like yeah, for the aggro decks, like I mean maybe the toughest aggro deck might be the Tenkuha one, but there's still not much thought required. You're getting a unit out there, you're resonating it as much as possible, you're getting the kill. That's really all there is. And however you get there is up to you.
Bait with a shield, then play another shield.
And the Shoryuken decks, they've always been mindless. It's just play unit, buff, get angry, punch, you win. So to me, I'm glad Iowa brought that up because to me those are like the easiest decks. And I mean, you could argue the craziest argument I got from True Asian was, well, if a dual color deck only has 5 mana, then you have to have more skill to play it because you can't wait for 10 mana. That's not how this game works. You're literally just playing a card at 5 mana, and there's not much skill there. So
Aggro
I don't
would be
really see the
cool
argument
if-
in that.
Aggro would be cool if Fate didn't exist. No. Aggro has always been kind of just really, I don't know, man. Really just fucking annoying. Just
It's always been there, and it's always relied on at least one thing. And you guys know what I'm talking about.
yeah.
Makes you think.
Did you hit him with the?
Mattel Electronics
Oh,
presents
no, I forgot to turn it off.
2017 Bomber.
It's okay. It's alright.
Yeah. So-
yeah.
But that leads me to my next question that I had for everyone, including the chat.
Oh.
If you guys could look at one mechanic in this game and change it, what would it be?
Resonate.
And what would you change it to?
I'm gonna jump on the mallet train on this.
Resonate. Shouldn't be
That's my
infinite.
idea. Yeah,
I
it should
think-
have a cap.
I think
We
3
only
procs
we
is
only get to
fine.
pick one. Fuck.
Well, me and Mallet already picked one. Why do you have like?
That was just a knee-jerk reaction. I really got to think. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be resonate, but like, I know Chris
What
is
do
gonna
you
say
change it to?
flights. Just change
how do you
resonate
change
so
it?
that it only procs 3 times. Just anything more than that is just like, tee-hee, I'm running away with the game, everybody. He's running with the ball. He's going into the end zone. It should.
Resonate cap?
Yeah, just cap three procs. That's it. And if it means you have to like go back and make an effect stronger, fine. Just I don't want to see something at 30 HP still gaining HP, dude. Come on.
They're playing 1 MP cards. They deserve it.
Ooh, cheap actions. Oh, I got
They're playing for free practically.
DCs. I hate disconnects. I wish they'd change it so that you reconnect. Wait.
So Iowa, you're the same. You said resonate. Would you cap it as well?
Well, you know what? I'll change my answer. I would
Ooh.
change. I would change flight,
Hmm. How?
and this is how I would change flight. So instead of just having flight damage be direct damage over, I feel like instead of having that as a mechanic, why don't you just make it into like a counterbind mechanic? So, for example, if you have flight on your unit and it hits another unit, like attacking an opponent unit, then what'll happen is you'll deal damage to that unit, but you won't take any damage because you have flight.
That's exactly what I was gonna say, Iowa. Thank you.
Damn.
It's my idea.
Extreme idea ownership on this podcast now.
So wait,
Fine.
how does that work?
So, I'm just trying to say that everything should have anti-air by
Okay.
flight not doing what it is. Because right now,
So
flight is
flight
deal
is
direct
blockable,
damage.
is what you're saying.
yeah, exactly.
Okay. I like it.
Like, just make the incentive instead of like direct damage to the face, just have the incentive be that you don't take damage back because you have flight
Yeah. When blocking.
when
Hmm.
attacking.
Oh, when
Blocking.
attacking.
Same
Okay.
same thing, same difference, something like
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
Maybe I should change mine. I don't know. I just thought like negates is technically a concept. I was thinking of like text on a card, but negates are just kind of this concept that I think should be reworked to maybe refund the mana to the the action being negated. Should refund the mana, like whatever your card's gone. Like I just got rid of your Aegis Memories. It's like, oh, I got rid of your mana too. Should be enough that you got rid of my fucking mana.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say resonate as well if I had to pick one.
But don't
Surprisingly,
take
not
damage.
flight. But if I were to pick flight, I was thinking something like, you only get one attack that's unblockable, and then you lose flight. But I don't know. I just want to clip those wings. But it just shouldn't really be a thing. at least flight plus agility. I don't like that combination together. I don't think that's healthy for the game. But yeah, if I had to pick one, it was going to be Resonate, be cap at 3. Because if you look at a lot of cards that still have Resonate and just like get the runaway, like a lot of those problems would be solved if they just stop after 3 Resonates, right?
Mm-hmm.
And oh man, it would make Ebony and Ivory and things like armor shattering defense better.
Yeah, like Reverb becomes a thing because you have limited Resonates and you want to make it count more. And you know, people argue like if you cap Resonates, certain units would need to be changed. I disagree. I don't think they need to change.
You're okay with
'Cause you
109
look at-
attack.
Like you look at every single unit that has Resonate in this game, and then you add whatever their effect is, and you know, multiply it by 3, and it's a good unit. Like Trish becomes what, a 4/9? That's fine. Leave her at that, right?
That's strong as hell.
Like Viper becomes a 210 for 4, right?
10 in
Like
combo.
that's totally fine. Like, am I doing the math right here? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's fine. She doesn't have to become 230, right? Like that's absurd.
230.
Viper or Trish doesn't need to become 12/500. Like it's absurd how big they can get. Like just limit Resonate so that you know other decks actually have a chance. You know, like black can just
Oh.
destroy them. Who cares? But like red, like just sweats right when they see that.
Kyle's hating on the heavy pierce thing. I think heavy pierce in combo is kind of a yikes. If it has like,
Yeah.
you know, 6 HP, but it has like 5 attack, combo, and heavy pierce, the hero takes 10. No, what?
Heavy Pierce should
What?
just be changed to work the same way as Pierce. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
in
the
general
extra
how,
damage
like-
just hits.
Yeah, and
Also,
Draco brought up shield as well.
I don't know what pack he's smoking. Just think Cammy's a low risk unit, but Sigma is not a low risk unit.
Cammy's very ridiculous.
Heavy, yeah,
They're both ridiculous.
Heavy pierce on a 2 cost, dude. Okay.
Yeah, but like, I mean, Draco brought up shields. I mean, I can bring up shields as well. I had an idea where you know shields are only protecting a certain amount of damage, right? Like it eventually
Yes.
caps or something, right? Like a shield should probably not protect a unit from 12 damage. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a point where it just gets ridiculous for you know 1 cost action to protect a unit from any damage in the game. I feel like there should be a limit that can actually protect you.
I
Like,
forget.
it breaks at some point.
I forget who else pitched the idea, but like shields being an effect where it just like shaves off X amount of damage incoming would be
Yeah.
decent.
I mean, you could do
effective.
that. Like, I don't know if it would just be like cut damage in half. I don't know if it would just be like an extra besiege. But there's other ideas you can do, right?
Yeah, I mean, if it just reduced damage incoming by a set amount, that'd be fine. I would actually, it wouldn't feel so bad to play a detonate and then have it shielded, and you get nothing, and you spent 2 mana on that, and just that's it. It's one of your resources.
Yeah, there should be a limit, I think.
But then Kadin would be just a broken, like, bad card. Be like, oh man, here's a bunch of shields.
Yeah,
Oh
still
man.
be good.
What
I
I'm
think she'd
saying
do all right.
is, Chill Penguin, the new Chill Penguin should be buffed.
All right, my turn on mechanics. And since y'all took all the good ones that I would
All
have
the
taken,
good ones.
I'm gonna keep it spicy. Heavy Pierce is up there for me, but I'm actually gonna go with Revenge.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was waiting for that one.
I think they should go to the bottom of the deck, and
yeah.
Yeah.
if you want them, there are plenty of cards in black to mill down to the end of your cards. There are plenty to draw revenge units. There is a hero art to draw revenge units, but why would you do that when you're just constantly drawing them? And that's been like the problem. Like I can't tell you how many wins I unrightfully won just because, oh, I opened Sigma, cool. Oh, I play a zombie. Oh, I have a Sigma back. Okay, well,
Yup.
oh, he died. Oh, well, I have him back. I've just
Yup.
played like 5 cards, 3 of them were Sigma, and
sweet.
he's coming back way too strong.
Yeah,
Well,
2 mana
then-
for 8 seems pretty good.
But then what would happen is at the end of the game, you just have a barrage of these low cost units. What's the.
I mean, that's kind of the concept of revenge, anyways, right? Like,
Mhm.
the saying is literally revenge is dish best served cold, not revenge, gets top decked, and oh fuck, there's another 4-8 that I just killed.
I think I hear
Um,
that more often than the first phrase, dude.
Why is Kyle lying to us?
Oh fuck.
He says
It's
Kyle doesn't want to
yeah.
play Sigma until later once he gets it back.
Yeah, I highly disagree with that. And you know what? If that's the way, then I've been playing it wrong,
I
and
don't know.
that's fine. But like, that's generally that's how a lot of games get won, especially in the mirror. Is what is the RNG on your revenge draws? I mean, like just the amount of times where it's like, oh shit, this agile. All right, I killed it. Oh look, he has another agile, the raging demon, and then there's
Yeah.
another one. Oh, I've just seen 5 agiles like instantly, and I don't think that's great at all. And I think that's a little too much RNG in a
Drawing
game that's
Agile
already
is pretty sweet, especially
yeah.
with demons, because you get a guaranteed kill. You just gotta wait for a good target.
Yeah, and it's especially become an even more noticeable problem when it's when you have to deal with the fact that like we have a lot of infinite revenges now. And that's become kind of a problem. And even so, like it's insane value when you kill a zombie and then it's back as a 5/2 instant blocker immediately, and it just kind of shuts down way too much.
So, would you change how infinite revenge works, or do you just want to change what happens to revenge?
I feel just revenge in general. I think they should all just kind of go to the bottom of the deck. I kind of like thought about it too. It's like, oh, maybe that could be a little too strong because it's consistent, but they actually kind of have to play it out, and it helps
Yeah.
a lot too with a lot of these black decks because they can throw in a lot more actions that could be a little more bricky, but it's kind of hard to brick with them because you're getting those revenge units back so often, and it's and I really would like to add more value to those cards to actually draw revenge, because right now there's absolutely no reason to ever play them.
Would you change Sigma?
Yeah, I think he needs a cap. I think Sigma needs a cap
I
on his
was shocked
revenge.
he wasn't in the patch notes.
Yeah, and if you're not giving him a cap, he does not ever need to become 7-Eleven, like under any circumstances. Like
With
a
heavy
four,
Pierce.
yeah, with heavy Pierce, it's so stupid.
Pretty
It's
crazy.
HBM was literally the set of how far can we go in terms of making this stupid, and like everything just
Yeah.
got too much, and he really
true.
didn't need that.
They went extreme on just about everything.
Yeah, and it was pretty bad for the game. And even though some things got toned down, we're still feeling the effects of them.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't change Agile or Sigma, so of course Black's still going to be around, and they can win the end game just because of those two cards being a thing.
Yep. And I don't want to take completely away from like Revenge kind of being nice for the end game, but it's just how much early game Revenge gives you power, because if you just top deck those cards.
Yeah. And they've already nerfed Revenge before. They had the round down instead of up, or up instead of down.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
But
One
you
cost
know,
zombies.
It's still really good. Man, imagine if Agile was
One cost Agile.
Yeah. Also, I do think Sigma should be a 5 cost. If you want to keep him in dual color, he should be a 5 cost that only gets reduced to 3.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
That's just crazy. I'd be okay if it cost 2 MP more.
It's a bit of a risk to play Sigma in certain matchups, but considering how he just is game winning for a lot of cases, it should be a risk to play him. And I feel like as a 4, it's not too bad. He can be slow in that regard, but you know, you're getting him back as a 2, and then you just take over after that, so it's worth it.
Sigma Bully's red, I believe it. It's a ton of HP. That's why you get a copy your own and then have it die 7 times and then be like, now I can play.
Yeah, I mean, you can copy Sigma for sure, and it's one of the better copies for sure in that matchup. But I don't know. I've seen so many people try to copy Agile. What? Like,
Yo,
what are you doing?
True Secret had a fucking game, had a clip where he was just like, all right, copied Sigma, fuck my whole deck. I'm playing Sigma now. Like, he literally copied it and then trump card. It was like, Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
Yeah, I remember that.
I get to endgame right now. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's cute. You can definitely do that.
Yeah. Also, I think like playing against black too, like it makes the end game very scary, but you know it's coming, right? And you can build and prepare for that versus like
Yeah.
trying to deal with it early game. It's just insufferable to deal with those big stats that come back.
What about
So
victory?
how- Yeah, I was just gonna say, how about we buff some mechanics like victory?
I think it's tough. It's tough to buff something like victory when you have Orin Gara, where it's just like one victory. Oh well, this is a huge fucking problem now. But yeah,
I think victory is fine. It's just that
victory.
No one
Dude,
uses it.
Victory explorers need to go to hell, dude.
I mean, like people use Shara, you know, and I feel like Shara is kind of like victory, except it's when you take damage instead of like killing something.
It's
not
a lot
victory,
easier
though.
to get
Victory.
hit than it is to
Not
kill
vic-
monsters.
That's just
My-
bullying.
My thing is like victory will be good as soon as they just print a high cost unit that has good stats and has a decent ability. I think
We have
victory
a-
as a mechanic is fine.
They've tried.
Disagree. There's a lot of those. Unfortunately, Ascension just kind of killed Victory, and then all the self sack and everything that's going on. I mean, like
Yeah.
the one way I could think of to like tone down like to buff Victory, but then you would really have to tone down everything around it. Is just if the unit in front of it dies.
Yeah,
Like
that's what I was
that.
thinking.
Whoops, Red's gonna get a lot of victory now.
Honestly, like if they changed victory to be more like Nevin's effect, that would be really cool. I think.
No,
Or
that's
just like
terrible.
if you've seen, not like any unit like Nevin, but like
Oh.
if you've seen an opponent unit die, not just the one in front of you.
I would even like it if the unit has to damage it, right? Like if this has been hit and then the unit dies, Victory procs.
Oh, an assist, dude. If you got that assist,
Yeah.
It would be
you can get
cool.
really crazy with like red victory units that happen to do spread damage or something, right?
yeah, it would be interesting, but it'd be kind of complicated to like program. But I would like to see something that would make Victory Explorers and other things like that more playable, because when I was playing the Rejects deck, a lot of them I noticed, oh, these are all Victory Explorers because they're dog shit.
There's very like there's like specific interactions though that aren't really, handled by keywords right now though, right? Like the 5-cost Ed, I think it is, and Leon legendary work where they do an effect as soon as a unit dies with a specific action or something, right? Like, or a certain damage effect.
Effect damage.
Like there's no real word for that, right? But if something could do more with that, maybe that would be what we're thinking of as far as like a new idea for victory, where if it dies with any battle damage, then that's a victory or something.
That would be dope. But it'd be kind of hard to balance properly, make sure it couldn't be too crazy.
Yeah, it's just weird because they have like all these effects that don't really have a name yet, right? Like we still don't have a name for the Oro effect, right? Like all damage is 1. Like there's no real name for that.
Yeah, there's nothing even in the
There's a name.
ability
It's
list
called
here.
bullshit.
It's called bullshit. I
It's
think
like
Red needs a fucking like
Dream Besiege or something, right?
some kind of death action based on how much HP. Something based on HP. I don't know. Something for that. I don't know. Maybe the banish thing could be like, yeah, if the HP's at 3, then it just fucking dies.
I want Red to get a card that does damage based off a unit's attack, but it's like individual pings for each of those.
Oh. It should do.
So Oro has 3 attack. It will do 3 damage in 3 pings of 1 to Oro.
And then green can have something that's like based on how many shields that are currently on the field. Do this much damage. No. Yeah, girl,
Yes.
lady. Green deserves its own uncanny chill. Yep.
Yep.
I saw someone running green purple growth and they were doing work and they had that ironic fate card. They're like, this card sucks. Oh yeah? Watch this.
Oh yeah, I like it. I mean, I've come around to that card, but it's only in like very specific dual color decks. It's ass and mono green.
Yeah.
Why is Kyle saying red needs a card that deals removal damage?
What does that
Like
mean?
banish?
Oh, we
Plus
already have
flight
that.
damage with units with 5.
How
Pretty
about
sure
it?
we already got that.
Yeah, I know we do. We have.
I would love to see Kakosha rise again.
There's already-
No.
Oh, like a
Good.
unit that can banish?
Oh yeah, I actually I think I mentioned that to Mal before or someone else. I was like, they need a unit with the banish effect.
Oh.
That was
Isn't-
Thirsty's idea.
No,
I
me
guess there's no
smile.
units that. Huh. There's no units that banish?
There is one, and his name is Gen, and
Oh,
he
yeah.
dies to
Oh, yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Whoop.
I was gonna say there's at least one, but that comes at a price.
Even like a like spread damage that does not that red needs any more
Oh,
spread
God.
damage, but like that
That's-
More
does
spread damage, please. Veil.
or like
sucks.
not at least like a random target damage thing,
Mm,
or in front does damage in front.
Dude, Gen is a hilarious card. When people try to play that against Antibody, I'm like, what the fuck is your deal? I mean, they rarely ever wait for Antibody to be down, so it's just like, okay. Someone's gonna
Had a
poke you and
match
you
last
smack him down, dude. Like, what are you doing?
Someone tried to Gen my turtle, and I just like right as soon as I ascended an agile on top of another thing, while I had 2 turtles, so it just splashed the board for 6, and his Gen died.
It's enough of that.
crazy.
Since it's red.
Oh, randomly off topic, but I got reminded I did get Secret Lilith, and I'm very happy.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
From the new
You
packs?
mock me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm jealous. Now I'm going to starve.
All his fucking
Piercing.
souls.
Piercing damage should break shield and then deal damage. Yeah, I agree on that. I think anything that pierces should go through shields a little bit, maybe do half damage.
Oh my god, that would make fucking Dragoon pretty dope.
It would make ultimate weapon playable
No.
for the most part. I mean, you still have to worry about Rescuer's Bullet, Better Part of Valor, Predation, Malice,
And Massacre, Malice,
Massacre, Dreams
Noble
Restoration,
Death. Where are my Noble Death boys at?
Where
the
my
Burning
noble boys at?
Slash, but ultimate weapon, you know, that at least it goes through shields. Yeah.
Fateful Bloodfire, dude. Pog. No, I don't want anything to be like, let's work around Ultimate Weapon to make it usable. No, just fix Ultimate Weapon. Just do something.
Have it do 12 spread damage across the entire board.
Yeah.
That's decent, but it's kind of, it's like, hey, we put this effect that's already on a couple other cards. We put it on this card.
Yep.
12 spread damage, but now if it didn't become an item too, they'd be like, yeah.
Yeah, they'd have to make it cost like 1 to make it close to Gerbera.
Noble Death emote. Listen, if you just gift me like, if you can just give me like 10 more subs. Just kidding. No, I don't know how many I need for the next one. Got the bad split emote. Okay.
I don't know. What do you guys think about like new mechanic ideas?
Ooh, I'm not good at this part.
Well, let's assume that the next set is either red or black. It most likely is going to be red because it's been pretty much over a year since red got a new hero, right?
Oh, mix. That'd be sweet.
Sure.
If all the new mechanics like were to try and synergize with the old ones, it would be cool if it's like, okay, Red's thing was explore. I mean, not like 100% Red's thing, but yo, what if you could mix the things in your pocket? That'd be dope. Nobody?
What do you
Okay.
think for a red mechanic? What could they do other than just damage stuff?
So I don't have a mechanic that's specifically red, but I was talking to Shmo yesterday when we were doing the Nero thing, the breaking Nero, and because we're talking a lot about like how Nero's cool because he has breakers and there's all these equipments, and playing a little bit of Marvel Duel, I know they have equipment, and I was thinking it'd be interesting if we had like certain equipment cards that worked specifically with certain cards, like and in different ways, right? Like talking about like, oh, you can have breakers that like enhance like all the Nero cards, or like armor pieces that enhance X. I don't know, Ryu can have like an orange headband that enhances him, because that's all he likes doing is changes his headbands. And that would be similar to kind of like tribe synergy, but like just a little bit more specific to kind of the characters that are on the cards.
Cards that have ascension and growth requirements. Whoa, dude. Really needy units.
How do you like Marvel Duel?
It's all right. Dice
I
the
can't-
murderous.
I can't play it, man.
Card
It's only
games that aren't
available in-
TEPPEN. I'm falling asleep here. Look out.
It's only available in a different country.
Wow.
You can play it if you download the APK.
Yeah, I have an iPhone.
Download the dot something.
It doesn't work for
APK.
iPhones.
Not APKs, those are Android specific files.
Yep.
You would need the IPA, and installing random IPAs onto Apple devices is a nightmare.
Yeah, I'm not about it. I did see a suggestion to change your store to the Philippines. All you have to do is, change the region and then re-enter your payment information and then find the game, download it, and then change it back. Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Just fly to the Philippines. You can do that
Real
right now.
quick, dude.
Just release the game in the U.S., you cowards.
They
You
they
can-
probably will.
Well, they should, but I don't know why it's not in North America yet. Last
This
I
is
recall,
Jet-
Marvel was an American. Anyway.
I thought it was American.
MVC is an American game.
And they're American superheroes.
Fucking Iron Man. Dude. Get 'em, boys.
But yeah, it looked alright. I saw Chop playing it, but I don't know. I don't know if I'll try it anytime soon.
I'm not too
I'm-
big into superheroes and that stuff, so like.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm really enjoying myself playing that game.
Wow. When's your Marvel Duel podcast?
Damn.
Tomorrow.
What clan are you joining for that game?
There's no.
For the purple one, dude.
I see what you did there. I don't know. It's fun.
It'd be dope if you could move cards from your hand to your into your EX pocket to draw better. Hell yeah. I think it'd be kind of dope, but for explorers, I mean, EX pocket should be just for exploring, dude. I don't want anyone to be touching that shit. I don't want anyone to be putting cards in my fucking pocket. Get out of my fucking pockets, you fucking pervert. When people play Trust and they put Trump card in my fucking pocket, it makes me just want to fucking quit. I didn't mean to bring the
Make the
mood down,
pocket
but
bigger.
But how do you really feel?
God, that was so irritating. Here, we put Trump card in your pocket. How far in the match are we? I don't know, the first minute?
I mean, you could always just play it to get out of your pocket. That makes sense, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
dude, just play it.
Just make the pocket bigger.
Just make the pocket bigger for Jill. Make everybody else just fucking laughably small pockets, dude. I'm just saying, she had more inventory than Chris in the first game, so that's why you picked Jill.
She has more inventory than Chris in this game too.
Ooh.
So, so what I was thinking for a new mechanic, and I don't know if this would really work or pay off that well. And since Evil Ryu is already a thing, I thought this would go really well with him. Maybe just like the whole theme of it. But I feel like if they introduced a new mechanic, so similar to like corruption or something like that, where you're paying maybe your health or some cards, similar to how Black does it, right? You're buffing something for your hero's health or removing cards from your deck. But let's say anything could do that in a new set, and that would increase your like corruption level or something. But if you go too far, you just lose the game. Like I don't know, like something extreme like that. Like you can only do a certain amount of sacrifices before you die or something like that.
A new win
Like
con, dude.
you go like super evil and shit, and just
Super evil.
become more powerful, but you're also like hurting yourself or removing cards. I don't know. I think that would be a cool idea, but that might make the game too insane.
Might be new, like kind of black focused mechanic, dude. The Hado, the Satsui no Hado. Dude.
Yeah, like you can't completely succumb to it or else you're just completely lost.
That's
I don't
fucking
know.
sick.
Might be too lame.
Dude, I'm telling you,
That's
it could be
kinda lame,
related
bro.
to the already established stuff that you fucking.
Yeah, because like I mean, you look at the Evil Ryu card that's in the game, and every time he hits the hero, you remove cards from your deck, right? So I felt like if they just kept going with that idea, they could probably do some other cool stuff like that.
Be pretty cool.
Just do it. Just
Yeah,
remove
I don't
shapes
know.
real quick.
Just trying to think outside the box of like something we haven't seen yet in terms of mechanics and something that might be easy to implement in the game and actually like add more rules to the game at the same time. Maybe
Yeah.
open up the game a little bit.
I really do like the idea of like mix being like an addition to Explorer, because I think Explorer is kind of not utilized too much. I mean, there's a a hero that's like, yeah, do it. Everyone else is kind of like, guess if I have to.
Do you think they'll ever introduce more RNG mechanics?
More RNG, dude. Yes.
Like generating random cards?
Oh,
Absolutely.
You mean another V? Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah, but like, let's say core is going away. But what if there's a way to generate core cards a different way?
Christ.
I never understood why Super Tyrant isn't a card, but Magala is. And Basario and Gravios. That never made
Well,
sense.
those are growth exchanges, and they turn into completely different color, right?
Yeah. No, I'm not a fan.
You want
How
Super
about,
Tyrant to be its own card?
We have a red card that turns into what do you call it? What's that 7 cost? The purple Explorer unit.
My thing is
doggos.
like, why would
go on?
Bulwark?
Bulwark, yeah, give me
Yeah.
Bulwark.
Well, that makes a doggo. Yeah, the doggo isn't playable by itself.
Yes.
But Jake is. What gives?
What the fuck, Jake? Dude, I just want to be able to like mass produce doggos. I mean, it would be so unfair, dude. Rush 3-5 combo. Dude, so fucking stupid.
It's pretty strong.
If
Yeah.
you could Genesis that, dude, 4 cost, I don't give a shit. You thought fucking Rashid sucked? All right, here you go.
Yeah.
my thing is, the cards that they make that, pop out of like other cards, they're not played at all. Like Shigara Magala not played.
I've been seeing it pop
Gravios
up,
not
and it's
played.
been kicking my ass. I hate that card now.
Magnus
Just
Energy.
mono green. Mono
Mhm.
green plays it. What the heck?
Yeah,
Sometimes
I've been running into a lot of big green decks that are not playing any units that are 5 and below. They are fed up with Dark Destruction.
Yep.
And they are
It's like-
fed up with Alexias.
They're all monsters, right? Like the tall monsters.
Yep. And a lot of times they're like they'll still be running 3 Sharas, but then they'll run the Magalas as well to just
Yep.
kind of stall out, and it's a big unit.
And they have buffs that'll target monsters.
Dude, Unruly was going off the other night about Felicia, dude. Felicia's a
That
Really?
is good.
good ass card.
I think I passed out while watching him before it got to
Yeah,
that
he
point.
was
but
upset, and I'm like, yo, but that's all green has against black, though.
Was it the Ascension Felicia?
No, it was the one you put it down, it makes 2, and they're all 2/5s, but they're
cost?
6 costs, so you can't touch
Yeah.
them.
Damn,
didn't
man,
like
that's
that?
just not fair.
Because he plays Nurg, he's playing black, he doesn't like that. Because he can't destroy
Only,
it.
if only he ran murder spikes.
Dice to murderous.
Dies the
Yep.
murderous, dude. And I mean, I just thought it was funny because it was just like black player being like, "Damn, green, why are they doing this?" It's like, I mean,
Man, there are certain green cards that give black a headache, though. I mean, Kusha was like the tale as old as time. but now Char is just like this whole other beast, right? Like it's a problem for a lot of decks.
Yo, I fucking hate when people try to do like it's like Kushala and it's just like tee let's put agility on him. It's like what the fuck are you doing?
That's classic, man. That tech's like a year old now.
How about I
Yep.
slap your shit, dude?
That was my original Gaia armor deck. Just explore for that agility, drop down Kushala, Gaia armor, agility, and yeah.
God, that
Yep.
shit is
Back,
so
back when
lame.
there wasn't 5,000. Man, everything Mallet loses to is lame. If it's not Jill or Green Dragoons, it's fucking lame. This shield didn't come from Carlos. This shield is fucking lame.
Yup.
Oh, you know what? When they play Cycle, I feel like I'm a green player because those shields show up at random times and they can't fucking see that shit coming from a mile away. It's a whole lot different, isn't it? It's a whole
All
lot
right,
fucking
Cycle
different.
is not fucking lame.
But
Cycle's fucking hilarious with Trump card. It's just like, ooh, free dude,
yeah.
free full MP bar.
But like one of the oldest clips from my channel was back when I did the Day of Nightmares marathon stream, and I was playing Explore Yawn, and I had a Kushala on the board against a Nurk player, I think, and he just kept playing 4/1 Tyrants out, and he didn't understand like why they were getting bounced. And like I was just laughing my ass off because I was like, guys, I don't think he knows. Like, and he just kept doing it, and then he gave up eventually, and I was just like dying. Like, man, he really did not have an answer for this, but like he just kept playing units and they just kept going away. That was a good time.
Yeah, I guess my big beef is the one that's just like one unit. I do this one thing to it. Now it's gonna win me the whole game.
I
And
mean,
before you
that's-
say FD Ryu, man, I do what I can. I do what I must.
That's just how certain cards are. It's like, do you have the answer or not? If you don't, then you just gotta hold. And FD Ryu was like the biggest example of that.
That Tarakamon deck I've been climbing with and I'm almost 2k with, that's like the only fucking big dick card in the whole deck is FD Ryu. Everything else is just...
I mean, it just straight out
fucking-
beats some decks, man. Like they can't do much about it.
Yeah, and it sucks, but at the same time, whatever. It's the only thing I have against them. It's the only card that I feel like is strong, yet at the same time, ooh, Raging Demon, man. Ooh, 20 AP. Ooh, no, we're done. We're just, do anything. Don't even try to play the card. Okay, try to play the card. Oh, you're dead. Okay.
Yeah.
Cammy. After you needs, yeah, we need to be late game. Kushala with agility, just straight out of the gate. No.
I mean, Joe gets at least like 7 actions in the first minute, so FD Ryu's
Calm down, please. Gonna have to ask you to
Am I
calm
wrong?
down. I had like one game like that, and it worked out pretty well. But
FD Ryu with that memory 20.
20, dude.
Let's get to work, boys.
It's good work, boys.
It's just blows everything over.
Hey, oh,
Like-
I still need to
like
clip
this
that
one
one
guy-
game where someone
The
stole my
1/4 player
fucking.
tried to block FD Ryu with Namiel at 8 health, and it just got evaporated when he could have just blocked Rook instead and bounced your FD Ryu back.
Yikes.
Come on, bro. At least look at that number of actions.
That's
before
what makes
throwing
it
a card in
crazy.
front
You
of it.
can't see what someone's number of actions is, like, only on certain cards. So if you're playing against a fucking Ryu, you don't know how many actions they have. I guess against Jill, you don't really until you just gotta like let it do work.
Oh yeah, you're just talking about memory count.
Yeah.
I think they show them. No, do they show the memory count on certain actions?
Yes. If they play something that requires memory, you can check it there what their memory is. But
Yeah,
if they're not playing something like
they
Rakoha,
do.
you can't check it all the time.
Yeah. You just have to look at the actions
Because
and pay attention.
the
Or
only
No one wants to count in this game.
the only thing I could think of that I run in my deck is probably Cody. You could probably check how many memories I have. Other than that, it's just like FD Ryu comes out and you're like, math.
Yeah.
Math.
Quick
Maths.
fucking
Quick
math.
maths. I mean, it tells you the number of actions on FD.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying like beforehand, like you don't get that long to react before. Like if I put it in front of a unit to kill it, you have no time to react if you want to save
I
that
mean,
unit.
it's even-
so you have to just do
It's
it.
even, yeah, it's even tougher for certain graveyard-based cards. I mean, we've mentioned this before, but like, you don't really know how many units are in a certain graveyard until you actually read the cards that tell you. Like, was it Blood Destiny and Val? Val will tell you the amount of units that are in the graveyard.
That card we should delete. I know.
Yeah, but like you don't remember once like actions get involved, like how many units are in a graveyard.
Dude, I can't even count explorers and memories at the same time. Okay, I fucked those up. So I got 4 explorers when I'm playing this Cody. It's like, oh wait.
Yep, that happens quite a bit.
That happens with my my red purple deck, which is a lot of fun, but it's like you got to be paying attention. You can't be looking at chat or anything like that.
Yeah.
That's the
Yep.
hardest deck to play, I think.
What is?
Red purple Jill when you're
Red
mixing like
purple?
explore thresholds and memory thresholds, and you have to just like get these 2 numbers straight in your head.
And just play Jury, play Bushin, you're good.
Yo, I had someone playing red purple Jill against me, and it was like everyone was like, "Oh shit, Jury's coming," dude. I'm like, "Nah, man, I ain't
Yeah,
gonna do that."
That's really the only thing they have in that deck that, they're playing for. They could also do a bunch of like, Reploid ultimate weapons, but you're just memeing at that point.
I like the payoffs having Nashes and Mizu. Mizu with antibody is a fucking bitch, dude.
That's taken a while to get to.
It takes a lot of commitment. You gotta really pump your
Memory 7.
deck full of actions and shit. But
Yeah.
it's a really
Probably
fun
works
payoff
out well.
though. 4-10
maybe-
with agility and debuff.
And it gets hit by fate. The end.
The end. Well, that's why you wait until you got 5 MP. That way you have 1 MP to negate with.
Yeah. I guess you could use Mavericks at that point.
Oh no, I mean just like wait until 5, drop it. You should have 1 MP left over. So if they try to fade it right away, you'll have 3.
Yeah, but if you're hitting the Memory 7, you have a Mavericks Memories, which is pretty easy access at that point,
True
too. Yeah, it's not too bad.
Honest red purple? Impossible. I need to play Jury and then hold it for 3 seconds and then activate her. Ha ha!
I was thinking of green purple last night after watching Thirsty's Nero stream with Schmo.
Green purple is a pretty toxic
That's
combo.
I had some weird ideas after watching the Memory Nico mirror last like 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, I fell asleep. I was like, oops.
Pretty thrilling stuff. I just thought,
Man,
like, how can we make this even more annoying? Oh, I know. Just use purple memory units.
All
Sounds
the
alright.
Misus.
And if you can somehow make it where, I don't know, you'd probably have to play a bunch of Surges, but you get a lot of loss
No.
of meaning.
No.
And if you can get a way to, like, cycle that deck, then I think you're in a good spot. I don't know. I haven't actually put together the deck yet and tried it, but it's still in my head. I can't let it go. Purple Hey Nico.
Oh,
I mean,
word.
my highlight this week for streaming has been the what do you call it?
The Dante.
The Dante. That's so
Yeah.
stupid.
The
What's your next stream about?
It's gonna be 0
Sweet.
Ooh,
I like
when
Zero.
I
you just
I
skip
love
that
being
one. It's fine.
top 15 and then drop into nothing.
Yeah, I want to
He's
see
so
you do
fucking
0 and rank and
confident.
see what happens.
It's gonna be terrible. Actually, funny enough, the one I'm looking least forward to is Rakoha. But
I
We'll
would get
see.
that out of the way first and then climb back with Tenkuha later.
What the hell?
yeah. I mean, I wasn't looking forward to Devil Trigger, and that ended up being amazing.
I mean, Double Trigger is actually playable, but yeah, you definitely made it work. I mean, that again is a testament to, some archetypes in purple just kind of being overlooked until now, where we're stuck having to play units. But purple lifesteal decks are very much a thing, don't you think?
Yeah. Also, I think
Lifesteal
when it comes to like one-ofs, purple is kind of like the scariest color of one-ofs. Just
Mhm.
because
yeah.
there's so much in that toolbox that you have to be prepared
Yeah.
for.
That's why the All Legends purple deck was so fucking good. It was like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, most of their
about it?
strength comes from legendaries in general. But yeah.
No one expects the one of Lumine.
Who
That's a
now?
6?
Who?
Yeah, it's a
What's that?
6.
That's crazy, man.
It's a 1/8 that's flying and it does 2 damage on every hit. Not even on hero hit, but just every attacking thing.
It's almost like a better Lilith at times, which makes me really sad.
Yikes! How dare you?
But then you
remember
put them
when-
together.
Yeah.
I remember when Lumine just came out, the one that we're talking about, and
Mhm.
people were asking like, "Is this card good?" And I was like, "Nah."
It
I think
it
that
shouldn't
card's
be
good.
good. It dies to Murder Spike, but it at the same time, like I was watching Thirsty's matches and the opponent just could never kill him. Like I was like, what is taking so long? Why are they letting this happen? Like Thirsty was getting like 40 health back just with Lumina, and I was like, why is this not being addressed? Like why is this not like they were too busy dealing with other cards, I guess, and they're leaving him alone because it's like, oh, it's only 1 damage. But like
That was my favorite, is that Raging Demon match, because like
yeah,
Lilith had just finished growing, but you could tell that Akuma was just like, I'm so fed up with this stupid Lilith, that he Raging Demoned it, but she was already full grown, so she did her job. And then now Lilith is just pinging.
and like
Like that.
you didn't have any negates, and I'm just like, for the love of God, someone please play Murder Spikes. And like it just never happened. They never had it. And like you played against a Wesker or something, and they were just like, oh, he's 6 cost. There's nothing I can do. And I'm like, play Murder Spikes. Holy shit! Like, why does no one have this card? It's just like Luminous floating in the air. Do-do-do, I'm gonna keep healing. Do-do-do.
Here it
Like,
is.
what the hell is going on? Like, what?
I think I had one match where they tried to murder us it, but it actually got countered by Earth Mothers, which was fantastic.
Oh my god!
Dude, Earth
Like
Mothers,
you don't
dude,
have like
can't
any real,
jam.
like not that many negates in that deck, but like you didn't need them. That's how absurd it was. It's
No,
like, you
let
need to
me
have
let
at
me
least a couple negates here, but you just never needed them.
let me find the deck to just send to the chat, because it's
Yeah.
it's a stupid. It's
silly.
fucking stupid.
I mean, it's definitely not Iowa's attack debuff deck, but
No, that deck is hard.
That's the hardest deck to play.
I was gonna say that earlier too. Like harder decks, I can't think of many harder decks than the attack debuff stall Iowa deck.
I loved watching that stream, and I was just like he's working away at his fucking hand to just debuff everything, and then they ascended. He's just like, God damn it!
Oh, I just lose. It's strong though because it also makes use of halts, right?
It was just very interesting to see like how much work you have to do. You have to just like it's like you're trying to like shape something in the sand, and then someone just comes through and just kicks your sandcastle, and you're like, God damn.
I posted the deck in the EX podcast channel if you want to show it.
The deck. Ooh.
It's my deck.
It's my deck.
It's like you look at the first 2 rows, it's like, okay, I see, and then that last row is just a hodgepodge of like, what the fuck is this?
There's so much going on.
There we go.
Surge, baby.
V with the
That's the
fucking
sauce.
grape juice.
Yep.
I'm talking
like Surge V.
instant DD. You know.
Yep.
Yeah, I never got V to do anything in all of those matches. He was the most
the
dead card
problem
there.
is you're not doing too much resonate, right? Like that's really. Let me glance through here really quick. I think that's the only resonate unit, right? I guess you could argue Amatsu is resonate as well, but you're not really playing for resonate. Like you had maybe one match where you got Surge on V, but then you couldn't find like any actions to resonate with because it's like, you only have 3 1 costs, and then
exactly,
Revelation and stuff like that. Like that, the goal isn't to resonate here. It's just to piss off your opponent and live forever.
Funny enough, that Akuma match, the one that was like where I healed the most in one single match, that was my best opportunity. I got him down and I had 1 cost, but I was waiting so I could have extra mana for response, because I was like, I don't think outside of like Murderous Spikes he has something to like just drop V immediately. And he did. He had fucking Legend Akuma, and I hated it, and it was terrible. It was right when I activated a card. Felt good.
Yeah,
man.
like this is a really fun deck, but it's definitely not like, it's not optimized for anything in particular except for just like getting a ton of life back, right? With growth and Nevin and Lumina just active. But I was really surprised you weren't running buffets in here.
Yeah, I thought about it, but I just didn't want to do any more passive like that. I just didn't want to worry about getting stuff in my pocket for getting that off, and then I wasn't really about like this deck wasn't about like being aggressive and killing things. It was just flying over stuff.
Yeah, being annoying.
Yeah. Oh, being so annoying.
You're
Yeah,
halfway to having an all legend deck, dude. Why don't you just go all the way?
Like Nevin and V are the only ones without flight.
Yeah. So it is more like a stall deck in some ways because you do have the halt units with the Pally and the Ketcha can grow and halt. Amatsu obviously halts as well. It's kind of got like everything in here, right?
Yep, we got the halts,
A
we
lot
got the
going on.
lifesteal, we
Still
got
got
a
Evil
little
Eyes,
bit of
and you still
rhythm.
got Mana Ramp.
Yep, and that was purely because like since I know I'm playing growth and it's like I can stall out anyways with Devil Trigger. The idea is like I could just throw these out, build up more Devil Trigger, and then save up until I have like the exact combo I want.
Yup.
Yup. Yo, why is Will sending me lists? Is this? Wait a minute. Deleted it. You sending me something.
You don't need to see Will's list. He can't even make a good Nero growth list.
Did Will
Wait,
send you his tier 3 Ryu Hadouken list?
Tier 3 Duke. Yeah, very bad hero. Hold on.
Ryu sucks.
Ryu sucks. What, Will's only like what, number 4 now? Let's take a look. Oh, he fell. 6th.
No?
Dude, Ryuzu, he's like, Jesus. I thought I saw Ryuzu much lower earlier, like this stream.
He was.
He was under
Jesus.
thirsty for like a second.
I thought Ryuzu was like bottom half of
He's just been grinding.
top 100. I mean, I thought I checked this like at the end of my stream today, my other stream.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, he's clearly been playing tonight.
He's frothing at the mouth, dude. In 2 hours, he's like, yeah, I just climbed like 150 points. What of it? It's like, damn.
Will's not even top NA? Dude, what are you doing, Will? Wasting
Sad.
too much time sending decks to Mallet when you could be winning right now?
This sending me deck picks, dude. Dude, even Thirsty's down to 18. Fucking slacker.
Sucks, man. Not even
Narikawa
top
passed you.
I'm trash.
So trash that he's just like, whatever. I'm
Dumpster.
just gonna drop to make 0 work. Fuck, Donga's right there, dude. He's like, he's got that Dante deck.
Oh, heck.
He'll fuck you up.
I'm at 71.
I don't want to play ranked. Make it dead, dude. Yeah.
I don't want to play ranked. Ranked is more playable now, at least. So.
Oh,
Got
that's
that
right.
good for you.
I played against some like halt mage, dude. He was just halting everything and then playing like Giga Hammer. Dude, this guy had like all 3 Giga Hammers in his opening hand. It was like, can you calm down?
Yeah. Damage.
Like after
tricky
the
thing is-
first 2, I was like, I'm kind of scared now.
Yeah.
I antibodied a Rashid because I was afraid once he got halted. Mount top 100? Hell yeah.
It's true, you're not hallucinating.
I know. I fucking grew some balls and decided to just sit down with one deck and just beat ass.
Just do it. Just did it, man. I'll do it again.
Yeah, I had like a nasty ass fucking 15 game win streak today. I'm like, that's where we're leaving it.
So that's cool. The entire podcast is it. Oh wait.
Damn.
Oh, this cat jam made me on. Nice.
I'm just waiting for Iowa to catch up. That's all.
Quick, before I fall out of top 100. Because I don't trust myself.
Yeah, I still got to keep playing, so that's not going to be great.
Gotta
I
get
only
whole
played
cat
the
jam in
last
there.
week.
Dude, who's the mysterious
right now,
lady
watch
cat
me fall.
jam? Who's 74 NA qualifiers? I washed. Oh wait, is Packy still on the replay channel?
I don't think so. I think he fell.
So, yeah.
He left.
Waiting for me and Shimo's match to show up there.
Cat Jam
Oh, no.
NA74. Isn't that shit? I can't trust myself. I gotta look it up.
Why did they make this so fucking expensive? This stupid first anniversary jewel set. Silly. Sent you a hot list, dude. Fucking so hot.
They probably saw like how much we spent on
Wait,
the skins.
they're like, this is good. Why are you sending me decks to make me angry? He said the QR, so I have to scan it. Gotta scan it. I have to. Okay, I don't have to make room. We're good.
Do we have a next topic?
Yeah, you.
Yup. How about talking about tournaments?
Okay. All right. So I do have a tournament date. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do as much prep as I wanted, but I think we have a decent start. So we have a tournament date. It's August 30th. It is going to be on a Sunday, and we're going to try out the 3 p.m. PST start time. The format is up to 3 decks. So I'm copying Thirsty's idea. You can have up to 3 decks. They have to be different heroes, and you can play those decks anytime in the tournament, but each match is best of 3. So this format is pretty much like an attest to the standard format and then trying to see like how healthy it is. Personally, I think this is a better change than what we had, during the Haunted by Memories meta. So I'm excited to see, what'll come of this tournament. And the idea of being able to have up to 3 decks is if you're a one-trick pony, you can play one deck and be like with Jill and just like play red cards. Or you could play, a green deck, a red deck, and a black deck. And this will allow you to potentially, counter your opponent's picks or just kind of like change it up. In a sense, it's like a tournament where you can specifically, mind game your opponent or, put them into situations that they wouldn't know how to react at first. But that's like the test of skill right there, is coming out on top of crazy situations. Let me grab the link. I do have the full rules link.
Yeah,
grab
can I
that
show that
quick.
on stream?
Yeah, go for it.
Share away.
Yeah, feel free to share anything and everything.
Everything?
Everything, yes.
Anonymous Wolf, Anonymous Badger, Anonymous
All right,
Raccoon.
so I posted it into the chat, the Twitch chat. It's a Bitly link, and that is the rules. So it'll say everything that I've, pretty much said about the format. And then we also have a registration link. We're still sticking with the Google Forms method because I don't know if everybody's used to Matcherino yet, but we are utilizing Matcherino for community prize pool. So if you want to donate to the prize pot, you're more than welcome to. And it is in that same link where you can, donate to Matcherino. And it worked out pretty well last time. I think we had 2 donators. Thank you to Pink Riot and Timote for those donations. And Kyle P was able to walk away with that prize pot, which is really nice. And I'm looking forward to this weekend. Right now the prize pot is 0, but if nobody else donates, I will donate. Well, regardless, I will donate. But I just kind of want to see how this will work, because this will be our second time doing it, especially with a Matcherino in advance. This will be the first time we have a Matcherino in advanced.
Nice.
So it's something to look at. What do you guys think of the format?
Just
So-
standard.
How does it work? You bring up the 3 decks, but you can use any of them at any time. Like even after a win, you can still use the same deck.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all right.
It's a nice flexibility to not be.
And there's no side decking.
Nope.
That's cool.
No bullshit. Just play it.
Yeah.
For
I'm fine with that.
okay. Any other thoughts?
I can't foresee anything being too nasty, or at a really good point, like you said, with the meta, that it's nothing's too
Yeah.
like.
If you're smart, you'll bring something for everything.
Correct.
Don't be like Kyle and bring 3 different zombie decks. It won't work.
Oh shit, fives.
I do think that like estimated runtime is really important when signing up for tournaments. So I think for like if you're joining and you're wondering like how long Swiss brackets will run, if I had to guess, it'll take about 2.5 hours for the Swiss brackets. Now, if we do have 16 players, we will make top 4 play out, and then top cuts play out is estimated to run like an hour and a half, assuming that everything goes swimmingly. If not, then latest is 2 hours. So overall, you're looking at about, if you're trying to like win this whole thing, it's gonna be, probably 4 hours.
That's not too bad.
Estimated 4 hours for winners.
Correct.
Yeah. The start time is pretty decent too. I don't mind that.
Yeah, it's kind of a mix of both because generally we always did 1 p.m. PST because I felt like that was a good time for, everybody in North America. But
Not Japan,
then when we did a a poll about like, hey, when do you guys want these tournaments to be at? Everybody was like, oh, well, at least all the entries were 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. PST. So we tried that once, and then of course that didn't have too good of feedback either. So then now we're trying to meet in the middle and do 3 p.m. Are any of you guys thinking about joining?
Yep. I'll do it.
I'm definitely gonna do it.
Yep.
I don't see anything getting in the way this time. Should be all set. I at least have a couple decks in mind already. Just have to figure out my third deck.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit weird because it's a best of 3, and you can play any deck that you want.
Yeah.
So like, definitely people are probably gonna get, a little bit frazzled when they're expecting like a Jill deck or something, but then they just like bring out Dark Destruction, and then all of a sudden their Blazing Wall loses.
All of a sudden, they're fucking angry.
Yeah. And it's still gonna be like open list, right? You're gonna see everyone's decks.
Correct.
So you'll just have to guess like what they're confident to start with, right?
Correct.
And
So
then just go pick the good matchup if you can.
correct. So we're trying to bring that tournament feel. It's gonna be a lot of mind games here.
like it.
During the deck picking phase.
Which I like.
I don't like that. Everyone knows I'm gonna play the fucking same 2 heroes. Fuck me. But when we had bans,
okay
it
with
was just like, no, you're not playing Jill. No, you're not playing Jill. Oh.
Should lead to some good matches because I think in the state of the current ladder and meta, there's a lot of good matchups
State of
that
the
are
Union.
happening right now, like a lot of really but some explosive ones too. So you get a good mix of both, and hopefully, if for the people that are entering out there, you guys should consider streaming. We could get more streamed matches. Like, I don't know. That'd be cool though.
Yeah, Kyle. Just kidding him.
Yeah, maybe Kyle could stream his matches for once. That'd be pretty tight.
I
Maybe Will could
respect
stream
it.
his matches.
I don't care if my opponent has 3 Shara decks with different green heroes. I'll bring Shinku anyways. Hey, Shinku is really nice. It's not terribly like, what's the word? It's not like hopeless to fight against Shara because like once you get down to 7, you get that AP. You're just like, boop, dead.
I mean, Will, you just shared a good Hey Nico deck with us. Why don't you bring that? Right?
Wait, is someone talk? Are you talking to me?
No, I was talking to Will to
Oh,
to bring the
I
Hey
don't
Nico
own
deck.
those cards.
Yeah, I know he doesn't. I told him to craft them. Spend all your souls on those epic green monsters. I know you want to.
I feel bad for Wajil because he's actually
Yeah.
on a new account.
Yeah, he did lose his original account.
I tried to help you out though, buddy. Yeah, it's still ongoing.
I think a few people lost their accounts recently.
Hella
Stop
people.
downloading suspicious things.
Yeah, there's some cool ideas though. Like you don't just have to bring like 3 meta decks, even though there's a good variety, right? Like you can kind of go crazy and experiment, and maybe even bring X. Who knows?
Nope. Don't do it.
Do it.
Don't do it. It's a trap. Gyarm is gonna win at least
We're
one
playing
game,
to
I'm
have
sure.
fun. We're not playing to win. I mean, people will pick Shara against me. They'd be like, tee hee. Stupid Jill can't fucking beat 3 Sharas.
Yeah, it's gonna be risky to bring like your go-to deck if you're facing a counter.
Bring Dante Burn. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Dante Burn is definitely a possibility. You can bring anything.
I mean, Dante Burn would probably be good against Shara. Tempted to do that, actually.
Morgan Burn. Temptation Burn's alright.
I don't think it was that good.
Yeah, I mean it's no Devil Trigger, but I've seen it.
I'll bring my All Legends purple deck, which has
Yeah.
fucked up some people, dude. Never see that Earth Mother's coming.
You could do that.
Three cost Earth Mothers? Yo, suck it.
I hope nobody brings my my Dante deck, Quicksilver Dante deck.
I'm bringing my Dante deck.
That'd be
Oh.
awful.
I was just thinking of the Quicksilver deck actually. That'd be
Please
fun.
don't.
Pretty fun.
I just don't want to see it on the feature match. It'd be ugly as heck.
Right.
You're trying to keep your list a secret? I say.
Nah, it's
These
just like
top elitist players.
He's
keeping
not
their
even in
list
top
secret.
100 because he wants to keep it all on the DL.
yeah.
I remember
There's that,
when
there's-
Change Form was decent. No, actually never. I don't ever remember
Change
that.
Form? Never
Change
heard of it.
Form, dude.
I don't think it was even good during like season 1.
Yeah, it was never top tier.
God.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
If it didn't have the
Other
HP
things.
requirement, it would be interesting, but yep. You have to be losing in order for it to be good.
To be playable, not even
Yeah.
just good.
Have to be on your deathbed, and you get one wish.
You'd have to be losing, and then like it'd be difficult for you to come back. That's pretty much how it is.
It's a comeback like machine.
Yep.
It's a shame because it's like wanting to make change form work was basically how like Coral took my interests when Feline came out. It was just like, oh shit. It's a new kind of way to make units stronger by making them cheaper.
Yeah, Coral's actually fun though.
Yeah, I mean, change form is fun. There's just a lot of like
Yeah.
touch and go.
It's kind of boring to me. I never
Wow.
ever played Change Form.
I would play more change form if I had the fucking Nerg skin. Dude, this is where I'd keep the Nerg skin if I had one.
Yeah,
What if I could?
it's pretty good.
No, it's not. What if I could?
Yeah.
Bitch.
Yeah.
Coral makes your units weaker? I mean, yes and no. Tell me that makes fucking, what do you call it? Heir to Ambition Wesker weaker.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh, that's a yawn in it, dude.
Yeah, I yawned.
Did
Plus
MP
4
back, dude? Plus
Yeah.
4 MP, dude.
Trying.
Yawn's pretty good though.
Yawn I
beat-
could see in tournament.
I
Very
beat some
specific.
thick yawn ass today, but you know, it's still pretty good.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you guys think will be the best tournament deck for this format?
Raging Pepega.
Maybe.
Shinku zombies.
Pepega zombies. Okay.
I don't think there is a best tournament deck. I think it's about rock paper scissors, for sure.
Matchups. Quite possible, because I could see the black decks running into wall at some point. Like, you don't want to play those zombie decks against a purple deck.
Fight Quicksilver with Earth Mother. Yes.
I mean, that's that's potentially beating black decks. Like, there's a lot that has to work for, you know, like any deck has potential to brick or board lock, and purple just, you know, takes advantage of that. Anything could happen.
So Will, that's what you're running, right? Flight Quicksilver with Earth Mothers. Okay. Ditto.
Maybe.
Registration open tournament registration.
I wouldn't sleep on stuff like Resonate. Some decks might not have a contingency plan for that.
No, I don't own Earth Mother. Bull, be like me and craft it for fucking memes. Just use all
I
your.
still don't own Earth Mother. That's the only legendary I don't have.
I had to
I
craft the
refuse
dumbest
to craft it.
legendaries.
Yeah, it's a shame.
I had to craft Hope for the Future. I had to craft Earth. No, I think I had a shiny Earth Mothers. I had to craft. Oh, not Velcana. Oh yeah, Velcana.
Velcana's, yeah, that's a silly one.
I had to craft some sus cards. I was like, God. Oh, Battle at the Summit, which my green deck did not actually use that, so it was just a dead
Yeah,
card.
I don't know how you'd be able to use it.
Yeah. So it was just funny to like craft these for a meme, and it was just like, Jesus Christ, dude, 3,600 souls for for a dead card.
Pretty gross.
It was fun though.
Yeah. So Will has Velcana. There you go, Will. Make a Velcana.
Make a Velcana deck.
It's that easy.
I do think that every deck should probably run Dark Destruction. I mean, every lineup.
Every deck should be Dark Destruction. Jesus Christ.
Every lineup should have Dark Destruction. Why do you think that?
Well, for me, it's like, you know, people that will probably get upset from, you know, seeing other people do tryhard decks. I think that Dark Destruction is a pretty good, like, answer and solve all to just, like, kill their units and fade of the unworthy everything. Just watch the world burn, you know?
Thirsty's back.
Oh, like multi-destroy?
Yeah. Just kind of be like, nah. Too try hard. Get out of here.
Oh,
Yeah,
I saw the
Do that.
dude, there he is, back to 15, dude.
Well,
Cat Jam back to the lobby, back at Cat Jam, dude.
Just had the worst match against Yon. They were gonna win until they natural cycled and gave me my everything back.
I do
Yeah, I
like when
don't
they
know.
natural cycle, you just get your fucking like Aegis memories back. It's like, oh, cool, thanks.
I don't know.
Oh man, that was my favorite moment.
Shoot you in the face.
I don't know.
The
when
funny
they
thing
should
is-
cycle in that match.
Yeah, the funny thing is watching like that replay when I got double agents memories. I didn't even notice I got it back, so that's why you see me waiting for a bit. And then I was like, what am I gonna do? He's gonna drop. Oh wait, I have this. Just shot him in the face twice.
Yeah.
Bring charge shot and get second, dude. Yikes. Fucking that charge shot shit can eat my entire ass.
What?
Meh.
Yeah, we played that one the last tournament I was in. It was just like, I'm having fun. Had fun against like 3 out of 5 people, and then one of the people I didn't have fun against was True Asian playing charge shot because Gotta make sure I win, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty painful. Yeah, it is what it is, though. That deck's dead as shit now, so
It's dead as shit.
good.
Dude, also, I just looking at my my mini feed here. I see that one of the subs that Timo gifted was to Dongo, dude. It's my sub.
Nice.
That's my sub.
My subs, wow.
I made this. That's funny.
But like he was able to climb back up, which is pretty impressive. So
Yeah.
I don't know what he's still using, but
B-boy Dango? Dango? 18th?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fine.
he was right under me when we started this podcast.
Oof, man, he's... I think Go was at number 2, too. I remember pointing that out at the end of
Oh,
my
yeah.
my broadcast. Go's like,
Yeah.
it's
It's
going to hell,
still,
dude.
I mean, we're at like the halfway point in the month. There's gonna be ranks changing back and forth
Yeah, it's just crazy.
still, but yeah, I'm gonna keep trying myself too. I'm gonna do a special stream Wednesday. I'll make the announcement now. Wednesday is my birthday, and I am going to attempt to hit my age in rank.
I don't think you can go that low.
I mean,
oh my
they don't
God,
show
you're
it's
2,000
past
years old?
100. I think he means for the rank, right?
I'm
So
just-
you're going for top 10.
Fucking baby was
Yes.
top 10, dude.
My niece thought I was 10. That was pretty nice of her. Spoilers, 36, which is reasonable, but you know,
Nice.
things could happen. But
Wait,
With,
Yeah.
Did
with
we
Jill's
ever-
already beating you on that. He's almost there for hitting his
yeah,
age.
yeah.
did we get an answer on who this Nerf Valstrax person is? It's the Saudi Arabian flag. Who's this?
I don't know.
Well, they're
Now all I see
spirits
is
with you,
Subway
dude.
gift card.
Subway gift card, dude. It's literally
Trying to
it's
figure out who
literally a
Buff
green card.
Valtrex is.
Dude, she's
Yup.
Jill's looking at her Subway gift card. She's ready to get that Jill sandwich. It's a me sandwich. Would change form work in PB with all the life sack? That's the thing is sacking
Yeah.
life and change form is really awkward. Sometimes you can't afford to do that.
Just hit an intent once and then you're set.
It would be kind of like not being able to use antibody until like your health is at half, which it might be the end of the damn game. There's this constant aura of like you have an underpowered thing. If your deck is really low power right now, it's like 15 health. I hope you have 25 AP, then you can start coming back.
Hmm.
Ooh, Cat Jam, dude. I want aliases for all these people so I know who they are.
Yeah, I mean the thing with change form, it's like, well, yeah, you can use change form, but you could also just use dive bomb and win faster.
Yeah. It's a really good feeling to hit a big hand with change form, but
Yeah.
it's not worth it most times.
Right.
I don't know who it is, but damn it, I'm proud of him.
A lot of cat jams.
A lot of cat jams, dude.
Cat
Ooh,
jam.
Number hundo cat jam. I'm trying to think
Yup.
who doesn't have cat jam on their stream. I don't think Vin has it. I think everyone.
Ban him.
Dude, ban him.
Calling-
Dude, banned. Calling him out, dude. Because when I go into a
He
chat
did.
and I want a cat jam and then it's like not showing up, I'm like, why am I here, dude?
Secret Walls had no idea what was.
Oh yeah, he's just like, I don't have the cat jam installed.
Like everyone's saying cat jam. All right.
Okay. dude.
All right.
Is that like Say Jam?
Yeah.
Yeah, Vin, get cat jam. Call me outie. Yes.
Oh, shout outs to Nintendo for making a banner for the event. By the
Oh,
way,
nice.
it looks really sick, and it was really done fast. So
Damn streamers with their visual abilities, their designs.
Yeah.
Except for me, dude, I can't do that. I make all my layouts like a fucking collage, and it's like there, done.
You're losing the collage war. I think Kyle P has the best collage
Oh,
layout.
he's got
He has
the
the best layout.
scrapbook. That's a scrapbook, dude. It's a fucking yearbook, dude. Voted most likely to not stream ranked climb. It's all good. Yeah, Vin at it, dude. Cat jam, dude. Cat jam collage. Oh, Packy wants to see the Jill I'm using. It is not gonna enter.
Umbrella. That
I
corrupt
won't
organization
umbrella.
must be stopped.
This is what I'm using.
Umbrella.
Umbrella. Wait.
That
what?
corrupt organization.
Corrupt organization. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna make those fuckers pay.
I like
Classic
going
Jill
from
line.
Nero to Jill. Woohoo! I'm bringing the umbrella.
Umbrella.
This is the list.
This is the list. This is Tarakumon's list, except for I think I took a Mikhail out and
Wait.
put in Riding the Giant Weapon, and I took
Yeah, I was gonna say Riding
Rashid
is
out and put in
different.
Nash. He had 3 Rashids, 1 Nash. I put in an extra Nash because I got the secret. Why not? Can you see QR code right here? This deck is so like, it's so weird how it's like, I'm trying to look for like all the tricks that the players are using to get to top hundo, and it's just like Tarakumon's deck comes out, no tricks, just play the fucking game. It's like, oh.
I like
Yeah.
I like the inclusion of riding. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, riding is interesting tech because I keep getting those situations where it's just like Doll's memories. I want to be like, thanks, kid.
You get some really good use out of it once you get an antibody off as well. Like
That's true.
antibody Cody and Carlos and Claire will activate giant weapon for even more value.
I like that it's if any unit has 4 attack, you can be like, oh, they're trying to get rid of my Carlos with 4 attack. It's like, I'm gonna make this Mikhail thicker.
Even more ridiculous, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty easy to stack buffs in a deck like this over time. And Rashid, of course, is just crazy.
Yeah, Rashid's bust ass. I can't believe how far people go out of their way to kill that card. It's like, yeah, the little pokes
They
are
have to.
annoying, but I don't think it's. I don't know. People seem to fear Rashid more than Nash.
Well, the growth of Rashid is a big issue.
Oh yeah.
You can't really play much and expect it to survive if Rashid still hasn't grown.
It's funny against zombies. Just fucking poke that zombie and kill him 1 hit.
Yeah. It's just a very big inconvenience while he's active.
Yeah, it's as fundamental and old school as it gets for Jill, man. It's just
Yeah.
it's consistent. It has 4, 6, 9, 9 explorers, which is really good. 3 activators.
Is it worth trying Penguin in here? Or is there no room?
I don't think there's any room. The thing I would try to want to fit in there is a 3rd Rashid because it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I also like Nash for the what do you call it, Shinku matchup, just because it takes more than just a Shinku to down him. Like, you got to play a card. I like to wait for them to play something to bring Nash's HP down, antibody him back up, so it takes like 2 more hits to bring him back down. It's great.
I like that you're using Charlie instead of Zeku.
Yeah, he had 1 Charlie in there, and that's
Yep.
that's respectable. I like the fact that you can use that to. It's like Nash got sealed. Okay, I'll put combo back on him.
Importance of Charlie, Packy asks. I mean, how important do you value combo?
It's good as a one of, but there are some times where like, or was it? I think it was the other day, not today, but yesterday, or no, a couple days ago. I had a game where he was my only source of like getting that 3rd explorer, so I had to like, he was gonna die, and I had to play Bushin on him, and it was just like 2 combos in my pocket, and it was like, okay, this is too much. It is really nice to put combo on shit like an antibodied Claire or Carlos and
Carlos
instantly make
combo sounds
something a
good.
threat.
Yeah. And of course, combo FD Ryu, the most broken thing in the game.
Well, I don't think you really need that.
It's pretty ridiculous though.
It's almost the same as just slapping what do you call it on it though?
State.
Ammo.
Oh yeah, ammo too.
State
was thinking
obviously is.
State is just
I need to
a
be
third.
more aggressive with that. Like, if you acknowledge that someone's not going to have the MP to block, you can really go for that. Like, I have a unit coming in. Okay, State, you got something for this? It's like, nope. Okay, you lose.
Yeah, Trajan has a point. If you can get Veil on FD Ryu, then yeah, you
Veil?
probably just won.
What the fuck are you
You
talking
probably
about?
just won.
There's currently no way to do that, best of my knowledge, unless you're doing tricolor Gaia armor.
Tricolor guy armor. Do it.
You could
It's
do
about the
dual
only way.
color guy armor.
How
Veil.
how would you reduce his mana to
Beautiful
5 to play him?
romance.
Bombast doesn't hit 6 cost or not.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
the-
beautiful romance doesn't work on red units. Lol, dude, I don't know how you do
Yeah,
that.
you don't. Unwavering
Oh, what-
Faith also only works on green
Romance
units.
only works on green. Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, I know Faith works on green.
I like how some cards they made sure to make it only work in a certain color, and other ones like, nah, that's fine.
Yeah, definitely tricolor with False Throne and Rebirth.
Yeah, to my knowledge, I think that's the only way. I don't know of any other way you would lower his MP.
Veil is currently kind of poopy. It's a poopy sauce, dude. The fucking Raging Demon is too good.
Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be ways around Veil, but I think for a lot of decks, Veil is a pretty big annoyance,
Oh yeah, it's definitely
and
annoying.
something that
I
shouldn't
just
be
think that
ignored. Yeah.
I just think Raging Demon is too prevalent for you to be like Veil, and now I win the game.
Like I
It's
look
not a
at
21 AP annoyance.
yeah, like I look at Resonate decks and I see them using Cove, even though it has a terrible death effect. It has Veil and it gets attack on Resonate, and you know if you play it against I don't know like a green unit, like there's really only one way they can stop it, right? They have to stop it with a Ascension with Karen, or wait for
Or
the slot to
CC.
open and then play CC. But
Wait
if
for an open slot.
the unit keeps getting halted and they fly over it,
It's a lot of
Yeah.
extra tools.
they can't disarm it. I guess they could, you know, lightning bolt or whatever, exploding lightning rod, to bring it back down to the ground. But yeah,
Get back on
it's
the
very
fucking-
specific, right? Like having Veil is kind of nice for those situations where they can't just, you know, counter it with a seal or something.
Yeah, I mean, if it were
Yeah,
possible to
it's-
put
Veil is
on
nice.
a unit.
Veil is nice as something that comes inherently built into a unit. It's never
Yeah.
too great to pay 21 AP to add it.
Yeah, like just attaching it with a hero art isn't the greatest thing. Especially because it's so expensive. Like
Or
how
you
would
can
Guy
just
armor?
assure Senku.
Yeah, Assure is a lot better use of Veil. So like Guy armor would have to go down in cost for sure,
Umbrella.
but also maybe do something else. But I don't know. Like Guy armor could definitely reach a point where it's just too crazy.
Season 1D try.
Yeah, I remember D and chart shot, purple chart shot was pretty.
I definitely
popular.
don't see Guy armor potentially becoming crazy. Its moment kind of passed because we're only getting more and more random targets as things go.
I don't know. I mean, some Veil decks work in some matchups. They just suck in other matchups. Like it's very middle of the road effect wise. Like you'll still see the all in God Car decks. Like those never went away. But they're very rare. And it just takes advantage of the fact that this unit has Veil and we're gonna keep buffing it.
Yeah,
And has
I'm
heavy boots.
definitely not. I'm not saying that Veil is useless. I think it's very good when it's attached to a unit. I just don't think it's very good as a hero art.
Right. But I feel like maybe it just takes the right combination, and a buff would help. But I don't know. I mean, Guy Armor Shara is a thing, but it's very gimmicky, right?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
If you just want to use X super badly, so you're just doing like Guy Armor, Shara, dude, just don't play the hero then. Like,
Honestly, still think even like Heart Tank Shara is better
Damn.
Too much. Oh, too much destruction.
Yeah, there's too much destroy. That's a good point. Yeah. I mean, black decks are just taking over, and it's really hard to dodge what they're capable of because they can really cover everything.
Yeah, I
It,
think
re-
just Raging Demon especially covers all their bases pretty easily.
Yeah,
It really
Demon's always a good backup.
it really felt like the design team thought like, oh, if we put in a better version of this destroy or a better shield or a better on play damage, then people will just use this one without really thinking of, people like just going all in on that mechanic then. Um, like there wasn't enough of all those things to fill up your deck with it early on. And they want to like power creep them a little bit, and that's understandable. But now you just have them both as available options, and that's kind of become like a problem. That's why like we have this like I'm tired of blacks destroys, I'm tired of greens shields, I'm tired of reds on play
Kill,
like damage. It's just
kill
like,
everything.
yeah,
Yeah.
they just keep printing them and thinking that they're going to replace old cards, but they don't.
Yeah. Do you think this game will ever have abilities where you tap a unit for it to do something? I think that's a bit too active for a game like this.
I mean, I think it could work, but it would be something. It'd be crazy. You'd have to add a new like layer of.
Interacting.
I don't know how you would like. You'd tap on it to activate it. How would you look at the stats on it without?
I mean,
popping it?
you'd have to limit it, right? Where maybe it's like, a red card that instead of on play do damage, it is, time locked or sensitive where you touch it and then it does damage, but then that would be too good, right? It, you know,
Hmm.
Yeah, it's a little too much control.
it's too active.
Yeah, and then it's also just a lot of this game already has issues keeping up with everything. That would be pretty brutal. And I think that the biggest thing against that is being able to kind of convey that information to the opposing player, right? Like obviously we come from like a player perspective that researches all these things and like tests them so we can understand them, but like can you imagine like a new player experience if like, oh, once you tap this black card it will destroy the thing in front, right? And like as if you're just a new player and it's like, why did my card just disappear? It would make no sense if it's activated like delayed, and that could get just a little too iffy and wonky. I mean, there could be ways to do it. I mean, maybe if it's like this is a super legendary, you can only do it once, and it plays similar to like a hero animation. That would be something, but still be a little confusing.
It's a cool idea. I just don't know how they would implement it.
Yeah, it's probably, I don't know. I don't know how they could design something like that without it breaking the game, I guess, is what we're getting at.
Not that they haven't broken the game before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Will asks, what if they add sub-hero arts and you have two arts instead of just one? I was actually thinking more like hero passives, like each hero gives a certain beneficial effect with them. So like, if you play Dante, all of your demons are buffed or something. Or like if you play Morrigan, all your lifesteal effects are +1 or something.
Man, what would they do for Jill? I don't think I've ever heard of an idea like that
no.
before.
I don't know what they'd fucking do. The master of
Maybe an extra
unlocking,
pocket.
dude. She can break seal. Yeah, girl.
Oh, that'd be funny.
That'd be cool,
The
actually.
master
Can't-
of unlocking, dude.
Can't get sealed. Yeah. Like I feel like that would be cool if they just like bring certain and they wouldn't have to do one for each hero art just for like the hero itself. They would just bring extra buffs. It would bring more incentive to like try out the different heroes, instead of just like every green deck has to be like Chun, stuff like that.
Yeah, the passives could be really cool.
Yeah.
But usually you get
So
a free
maybe a
explore
passive
count?
effect.
No. I really think if they do passives for Jill, it's got to be inventory space, dude. You got to get that third pocket, boys.
Yeah. Just something to make them more unique instead of being like, well, you can play this, you can play this dual color deck with any hero you want. It's gonna work the same way. Like, be cool.
Dude, the X passive, dude.
They could also make
Mm.
a separate deck for the EX pocket, so then once you use the card, it'll just draw into the next one if you
Bruh.
overflow.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool. Did you accept the Jill HA that unlocked more EX slots? Ooh, I don't know if I could get rid of antibody. I need to be able to do those last second stabbies.
I mean, a hero art that unlocks EX slots really isn't that great when you think about it.
Say what?
That's not really that effective. If you're just using the art to give yourself more pocket space, I mean that's a cute idea, but it's not really like that great, you know.
If it kept stacking, dude, it's like, how big's your pocket? I don't know, 6.
Yeah.
God damn, dude.
But I wasted all my explorers getting the AP for it, so fuck.
It's like, which explorer do you have? All of them, dude. I can halt you and then shield myself, then blow up your unit.
Like yeah, you can reduce the cost of cards in your pocket,
You'd have to
but it's
reduced by
again,
1
it's just-
MP. It would have to be like, the cost would have to be like 12.
that might break too much stuff at the same time because all of a sudden you can include like 6 cost actions.
Yup.
That's good though. I mean, it's kind of like Coral. A Coral I had a lot of fun making decks for, where you could just
Yeah.
make those unplayable units. The game's like, you can't play those units, and I'm like, I know.
So would a version of Coral but with actions be broken?
I don't want that.
Yes.
I just don't want that.
Yes, it would.
Would it?
Only certain
we-
types of
we-
actions are discounted.
I've already
Yay.
had like painful experiences with how much Zero was able to lower MP on things. I swear to God, if I
Yup.
see another, like, just oh my God, there's nothing more tilting than 1 MP Maverick Memories.
Oh yeah, if you could do that with actions, then that would be like Burn City.
4 cost X hunters. Love it.
Hey, I almost did that with my one deck that I deleted, that one red purple Jill
Yeah.
deck where I was just like, yo man, we just discount the Surge, use Surge, lower X Hunters, and then you can play X Hunters and you get 15.
Right.
Still.
It's a risk though because you bring certain actions down to that negate range.
Yeah, but purple's dead.
Purple's so dead though. I mean, it's funny because we were saying that last week how it was just like it's not doing too well, but we got some dude hope for the future, dude.
It's in a rough spot. But yeah, some of Purple's best decks require more effort.
People
That's
are
the thing.
innovating. It's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It could use a little love for sure, but it's definitely in a more fair state, and
Have to play
that's-
units.
feels weird when you've been unfair for so long. It's like why do I have to do this? And it's purple in its state right now is not as bad as like some other heroes and colors have been in their worst states at all in this game's thing. They're still very playable.
Beat this forest
Yep.
guy with Colonel Rush, dude. Your boy, the Colonel.
But what hero are you playing, Will?
Umbrella.
Everybody check out this
That
deck.
corrupt organization must be
Everybody check out
stopped.
this deck. Yeah, buddy. Dude.
And it'd be real awkward if the next hero is purple.
I
Oh
don't
my
think
god,
it's
it'd be
purple.
fucking hilarious.
It's been I said it before, but it's been like a year, right? For red.
Purple's no healthy styles. Yeah. It's always it's never had a healthy style, honestly.
The other thing too is I think like there's this idea that if your hero isn't like if you're not being picked like if the expansion isn't based off your color, then you're not going to get as much support. But that's been like pretty much incorrect like every time, right? Like Ascension was Black's hero and Green got crazy from that.
Yeah.
Red got Jill was Day of Nightmares, Red got crazy there. But like right now this was Green's hero, but like Red got a lot, Black got a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, I
I
mean,
would
for
like them to
tries,
do an adjustment on all these unplayed hero arts. That's what I really want.
Yeah, they should start buffing some stuff eventually.
Yeah, green got a lot, and that's gonna happen though. Whenever the hero comes out, it seems like that color gets the most tools.
Not all the time. I mean,
Haunted
obviously
by
purple,
Nightmares, dude.
Purple went crazy with memories, so that was
Mhm.
you know. but other colors got stuff that is still being played. So
Oh no, I'm not saying that
I don't
every
know.
other color got nothing, but I mean, to be
Yeah.
fair, that set had a lot of Denjin tools that were like, hey, look at this Denjin card. Look at this card that clearly belongs in Denjin decks, and it's just like, cool.
Hmm.
Dude, look at the trivia on this, dude. This handgun. This is what I used to make the emote, the gun emote.
Oh.
Oh,
I just spun
that's
it
where
around.
came from.
Huh. It's funny.
I originally tried ammo, but it's a little wacky. Dude, this deck, dude. If you can get 2100 with this deck, you're a fucking god.
I do actually. I have a question. I want your guys' opinion on it. And I'm gonna do my best to just let you guys speak your answers and not stick my bias into it. But do you guys think that green has the most tools in this game?
No, purple. The most tools, everything, dude. They could just do everything, and yeah, everything.
Tools. I don't even know.
But when you say tools, you mean shields?
Oh, they definitely have the most shields. I mean, that's just the thing that like I have come to terms that like I'm not trying to defend any other colors. Like every color is super degenerate right now, and that's why I think it's a good place for the balance. But I just don't understand the I see it come up a lot that green has the most tools, and I don't see that.
Yep.
I don't know. I can understand it because they're able to seal easily. They're able to reset. They're able to shield. So they have more access to like tech choices compared to other decks or other colors, I should say, where there isn't much variety, right? Like, I guess what I'm saying is like green kind of has like a tool belt or utility belt of sorts where they have like these different ways to deal with certain things. But red just has like a rock that they just use to bash shit
They just
in.
have a gun and never-ending bullets.
Unless
dude.
unless they're playing Jill, then they can be like cute with it. But for the most part, red decks are just like bashing shit with a rock, and then black's just like using like a nuke or something just to blow up the board.
I mean, I think for most tools, I just have to say it's purple, but like
Yeah,
'cause-
purple's where it gets interesting because like I don't know, tech wise, like
What's up, Alchemist?
they're able to add stuff, right? Like they're able to make use of flight pretty easily, and they obviously have negates. So in theory, they don't have to worry about anything. I don't know. I could see it both ways. I guess it goes between green or purple because they're both very tech oriented, where
All
they can
the-
actually figure
all-
stuff out.
All the tools in red from explorers are really, really cool, and I love being able to use them, but it's that's why I was kind of like rolling my eyes at the fact that like last meta people were like ashamed to have explorers, and it was just like there are so many interesting explorers out there. It's like, what are you gonna run? I don't know, detonate, shield, that's it. Just put in some quick cyclable actions so you can get them faster. Like you got halts, dude. Ooh, we steal some really good tools, but we're not allowed to run those.
definitely think black has probably the least tools, but it just has one of the strongest tools.
Yeah,
Um,
less variety, more potency.
but I do think like when you list like seals, resets, that like a lot of tools kind of get missed out from the other colors too, because black does have a reset. It's a weird reset, but it is a reset.
Yeah, I don't count that.
But why not? Why wouldn't you count that as a reset?
I don't know. I don't think mouse should exist.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
you don't think it should exist, but it
it's-
does exist.
It comes at a price though. It's not as easy as just spending 2 mana to, get it back. I mean, it's definitely available, but at the same time, it's just I don't know.
That's fair, but I'm
It's-
talking about
it's
just from
weird.
like the amount of tools, right? Like that's not potency of these tools, just the amount of tools.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, technically, purple has a reset, but it's with a bounce, right? And red has
Yeah.
a reset. They just kill the unit.
But I
That's a
wouldn't.
reset.
But bounce isn't like gonna reset a unit that like only has an on play effect, right? Like it's gonna get that on play effect again. Versus like that's the benefit of an actual
Yeah,
reset.
but
And
I'm saying like you can reset them and if they're buffed, right? It's yeah, it's weird, right? Because yeah, it's there's variety for sure
We
across
need
the
more
colors
cards
now.
like this. I'll
I
tell
mean
you
more.
that.
I mean more colors have access to halt now,
yeah,
which was supposed to only be a purple thing, but you know.
now it's a red and purple thing because black and green still don't have. Well, green has it through Nero.
Yep.
It doesn't reset Nero. God damn it.
Green can halt for sure.
Detonate only Genesis. God damn, kill me.
I mean, you only got hit by what 10 rag times in that one match. Which,
Fucking
well,
ragtime, dude, kill me.
Yup, it's dope.
pretty cool. I love the RNG in Hey Nico because like if you find one, you're about to find it like you're gonna find it like 5 more times in a row.
Yeah, it's about the same with Fade for some weird reason.
Yup.
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 Why don't we have any more of these cards? I like the way Rebecca is designed.
That poor cat's been jamming for almost 4 hours now.
He doesn't know how to stop, dude. That's why he's in the other. He's faded from this mortal coil, dude. This fucking never stops jamming.
Cat jam every day.
Oh, that's your
Every
homework,
day.
everybody in chat. If you stream, I want to see Cat Jam in your
Cat
in your
Jam.
stream.
Yeah, his neck definitely hurts, but he can't stop.
But he can't stop, dude. Damn. All right. Well, any Cat Jammers in the chat, dude? Oh my god.
Cat Jammers, what?
Whoa, it's my favorite arcade game.
I don't know. I think we covered everything though. Is there anything else we need to discuss?
This is pretty good. We covered tournament stuff.
Yeah, we did.
Ease of deck use versus viability.
Oh, I did want to say one thing. If you're a new player and you're looking for the easiest deck to play, I would definitely recommend any aggressive deck that you could find, like Blazing Wild Rathalos. Like even though we make fun of it sometimes, it's still like a very good starting point.
It's very easy to understand too.
Yes.
And it's a
But-
quick way to learn when you should stop responding to actions.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The amount of times
Mhm.
that like, oh, I'm gonna chain of fist your Valstrax for 2. Okay, I'm gonna use a shield. All right, I'm gonna chain of fist him again. All right, shield. All right, cool. You're out of mana. All right, here's this liberating slash I've been holding this whole time. And now you're behind.
And make sure to play this card too. It's really good.
Raging Demon
only-
is not the easiest deck to master.
Everyone
by
will
far.
love you if you play Elder Frost.
Elder Frost is tight.
love
Demon
Elder Frost.
is a little tougher for newer players to start with, I think. I think it's
Deck?
easier to start with dual color decks.
Yeah.
Ascension, as it is not very like new player obvious and friendly. I think like even literally in one of the Facebook groups, there's a player like, how do I get this evil Ryu card? And they just didn't understand. It's like
Oh, really?
players were telling them like, you just ascend over. It's like, what is that? You put the card over another unit. It's like, what? And like
Oh.
literally had to record a video to show them.
Wow.
Yeah,
crazy.
that actually gave me like a it blew my mind when I first saw it. Like when I saw Ascended, I was like, so you can play it on top of another unit. It's like, whoa. I already have a hard time filling up my fucking board. Now we need like, oh, my board's full. Okay, overlap it. Be sure to play this card too. It's incredibly good.
I hate that card. That card has killed me at least 3 times.
Dude, look at the way he's smiling, dude. He fucking knows.
Dude, why would you play Shara? This guy has 2 more attack. Just play this guy. Everyone, remove Sharas from your deck. Put in Crescent Grizzly. Trust me. He's got 2 more attack.
Dude, his
Little boss.
newer version is so fucking more gnarly, dude. He looks fucking really pissed off.
Look, all
Oh,
you do
the
is you
newer
drop 8 cost Crescent Grizzly, and then you drop Rush Rotor, and then you win.
Yeah, I got out Green Dragoon by somebody before, and I was like, "Fuck this game." Set
Damn.
their fucking board up. I was like, "Fuck you too."
Mhm.
Dude,
How
Sherry is
shrewd,
tired
too.
of Shara too. She's trying to shoot him in the
I
head.
know, right? I love when what do you call it? They don't flip the art around, so like, if the enemy plays Billy, then he's like pointing the gun at the hero that played him. It's like, dude, no, other way.
Billy, don't shoot me. I'm on your side.
If you do the
Billy,
dream
no.
team, you got Chris and like Sheva and all that shit, dude. They're all pointing their guns in different directions, dude. They're covered.
I've been seeing Hado Strike pop up again.
Nope,
It's funny.
don't like it.
Well, I love it because I have Ascension, so it's not that bad.
Shit. It's a big circle jerk card, dude. I use it, then you use it.
Pretty weird. card.
Oh, did any of you see the Reddit post of someone that got like legendary felines mana boost to like it was like 1 to 2 seconds to full 10 mana and got his HP to 107?
Cool. Shit. dude.
Oh, wow. I mean, I've seen it gain really fast before with the stacking.
Does it actually point at
It was-
you? It depends on like what you call it. They don't flip the art, so if I go find Billy, who's a 7,
Hmm.
if my phone wants to load the oh my god, I right clicked.
Oh dear.
Well, okay. But Billy's pointing his gun to the right, so if your opponent plays him, he'll be pointing his gun at the enemy hero.
Hmm.
All right, that's it. Any questions? Any questions, class? I gotta fucking head out. I talk about Barry. I don't think so, dude.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Barry.
Oh, that's right. I want to next week. I want to talk about underutilized but cool cards. So everybody think
Oh
about.
yeah.
Everybody think about a card you think is underutilized but it's cool.
That's the homework.
That's the homework right there.
Lumine.
Hey,
Lumine's so cool. He even has his own little icon on his card when he's in play that
Yep.
has not show up on any other unit.
yeah, I saw that last time and I was like, what the fuck is this? Like a little syringe? Get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
Yep.
Sick.
Fun fact: I have 3 secret Lumines and 0 normal Lumines.
Pog.
I don't think I have any secrets of him, unless they gave one away.
Yeah, it's weird how they wrote that in there because there's nothing special for Lumine in terms of text. I don't know why it has like the
Just as effect.
syringe. Wish Pierce went through his shields. Damn. If he was like 5 or 6, he'd be good. Yeah, it's a lot of cards. If Cody was a 5 or 6, he'd be a fucking god tier.
Yep.
It's also just become a problem of like how cards have crept up in power level. Like you look at Billy, like 3/9, those stats suck. That's like 4 cost Nero coming out as 5/9.
Oh yeah, Mikon mentioned Flame Stag, dude. I love that card. And when I do budget Jill, dude, look at that fat fucking body, dude. 16 HP, get the fuck on the ground, dude.
But it dies.
It dies to murderous, and when you antibody it, it gets brainwashed immediately.
Yeah.
That's why you play Mika. She's 316. It doesn't die to murderous, but she fucking dies to evasive action.
She fucking dies. Yikes.
Oh, dude, someone hit me with red, and I wasn't prepared for it, and he just completely shed on me. He just like was victoried up, and then they just started spamming ride the giant weapons on him, and he just got huge.
That's
and I couldn't
crazy.
do anything.
Sounds like a nightmare.
In the
Literal nightmare.
what series was that? Ooh, Haunted by Memories. I remember doing the regular GP for Haunted by Memories, not by Nightmares, and using a couple of reds. He's pretty good. You antibody him, and he's fucking off to the races.
Yeah, he's decent.
It hurts.
Yeah, that makes him. Anybody makes him a 5/8, right? With
Yeah,
shield.
5/8 with
That's
shield.
fucking gross. He's got
It's fucking
victory,
gross.
and he's got rush, and then just killing, burning everything down.
Yeah, he's pretty good. That's why I kind of like the GP. Sometimes they make you pick some unorthodox cards, but people are just like, "Can I net deck? What's the strongest deck in the meta right now?" Okay.
Just make a deck with 3 ride the weapons, and then just all 4 attack units.
Cannon Driver on the ground and give him anti-air. Oh, dude, Cannon Driver's good, but when I put him, I put like one of those Cannon Drivers in Green Dragoon and never really, either I never see him when I need him, or like I get him and I'm like, God damn it, you're not doing anything. Damn you.
Yep.
Alright, let's get the hell out of here. Past my bedtime. Who's streaming?
Cosplay still?
He's still streaming? Man is a streaming monster. It looks like he's about to TEPPEN rank sorry for the tech issues. That doesn't look good.
Uh-oh. Time to host them.
Hey man, what's going on? It'd be awkward. Can we host him? Showing off pictures, dude. Alright, we gotta do it.
Pictures of what?
Road trip? I don't know. Falk was the
Road
most
trip?
disappointing red unit. I know, right?
Wow.
Falk, yikes.
Cool,
Actually,
cool.
I rated cosplay before I took my break, so that's funny. Host him again.
Smell it, Moo guy really likes this cosplay guy.
Oh my god. He's streaming. Alright.
Yup.
Alright, guys. We're gonna head out. See everybody later. GG's.
Good
Bye.
time.
95. Yeah. Yeah. Rated. Oh, dude. Be like, okay, we're rated. I want to be like, oh my god, play Jill.
Play Jill. Are we rated? Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, I am very tired. I'm sorry, guys. I'm very about to
No,
pass out here.
It's totally alright.
Yeah.
No cat jam. Oh my god, this cosplay doesn't have cat jam? Man.